crying all the time. We getting tired of hearing bitch ass whine.
I love it. Pocahontas, I called you.
Lose a woman user.
I know.
I
see you.
I tried to call you back. It's been going crazy. I was asleep. I worked last night.
Okay, text me so I know it's you.
Okay. When you finish here, just call me. I don't work till tomorrow morning.
Okay.
All
we
right.
need to talk to Niecy, please.
Yes, ma'am. Hey y'all. Hey Slim.
Hey,
FOE Slim. What your folks called?
I ain't never had no name. I ain't never did it.
The Guardians.
Yeah, they wanted that one. I just never went with it.
We'll go with it. I like it.
All right. But yeah.
Hi, y'all.
All right.
Hey, FOE and the Guardians.
Can y'all tap us up, know what I'm saying, while we playing these tunes, know what I'm saying, while we playing these tunes, feel me?
I like that.
I thought she wanted me for me. She even said she didn't care about my teeth. I flew out of town and spent time. Whole time another man was on her mind. When I found out about it, I cried till my gums hurt. Got drunk on live and had a heartbreak concert. I thought I had it all together, but it down on the BED. Whole time she stuck away with another man from the DMV. I thought she was my lady. I thought she was my baby. I was a fool to believe she would choose me with 2 teeth. I thought she was my lady. I thought she was my baby. I was a fool to believe she would choose me with 2 teeth.
All right, I'm through being petty. Y'all. Here we go. We gonna open it up. You ready, Miss Netra? We finna open.
I'm ready. You want me to open it, or you want to open it tonight?
I was gonna open it up with a song real quick. You know, with our song for our show real quick while everybody get in the room. Shut the live out, y'all. Shut the live out. We only got 8 shares right now.
Poetic open it with a commercial. Poetic, right. You can open it tonight with the commercial.
Wait, where the hell our song get? I ain't. Hold on.
They said cameras on, please, for YouTube. If you do not mind, we are streaming on YouTube tonight.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yes, okay. We are streaming on YouTube. God damn it. We're hard and lost.
Thank y'all for coming. 300 people in the row. Already.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for being so supportive.
Liam, drop me down because I'm still at work. Drop me down.
Okay, make sure you come back, sweet thing, because this is a good topic tonight. Toxic relationships. Well,
356.
I didn't delete it our song, Netra.
I hope not, Slim.
Oh, I can go get it again.
Slim, find our song, tap the screen, share after live. We do have a live goal up here, and as you can see, the cash apps are going across.
Which one you using tonight, Miss Netra? I need to put yours up there. Which one you using tonight? The
cash app. I am my best friend.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So y'all are joining me, Slim, and Poetic RN. Slim, we do need to fit her cash app up there. I know she probably don't want it. Look at her. But y'all, we have decided to come together every Wednesday night, every Wednesday at the hour of 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time to bring you other content other than TikTok drama. So tonight's topic is toxic relationships. And we want everybody to come in again, be very sparing of your time because we will get back to you. But share the microphone.
I think it's it right here.
Here we go. We got a song for y'all. Tap the screen. Let's get up to 100K real quick.
What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? We going grown up after dark, it's that time to unwind. Let's have a conversation, let me stimulate your mind. Might just put you up on game so you don't get left behind. Free to ask your questions, but please don't waste my time. Past, present, and future, we putting it on the floor. And if your ass wanna be judgmental, we can show you the dough. We done all been through some shit. Hell, ain't nobody perfect, but this is why we look so graceful, walking in our purpose. Life is one big old journey. I done walked so many walks, seen and did so many things. This why I talk my talk. We could learn your ass something if you listen. So tune in and thank you for your attention. Walking like I talk it. I'm not perfect, but I'm flawless. Gotta be in you, not just on you. I'm obeying my calling. Walking like I talk it. I'm not perfect, but I'm flawless. Gotta be in you, not just on you. I'm obeying my calling. We going grown up after dark, it's that time to unwind. Let's have a conversation, let me stimulate your mind. Might just put you up on game so you don't get left behind. Feel free to ask your questions, but please don't waste my time. Past, present, and future, we putting it on the floor. And if your ass wanna be judgmental, we can show you the door. We done all been through some shit, hell ain't nobody perfect. But this is why we look so graceful, walking in our purpose. Life is one big old journey, I done walked so many walks, seen and did so many things, that's why I talk my talk. We could learn your ass something if you listen. So tune in and thank you for your attention. Walking like I talk it. I'm not perfect, but I'm flawless. Yeah. Gotta be in you, not just on you. I'm obeying my calling. Yeah. Walking like I talk it. I'm not perfect, but I'm flawless. Yeah. Gotta be in you, not just on you. I'm obeying my calling.
I love it.
All right. So tonight we talking about toxic relationships. So the good, bad, and the ugly. From men can join, men feel free to join as well. You know, like if you've experienced a toxic relationship, we'd like to hear your take on it. Please don't come with the butt hurt sentiments. You know what I'm saying? I understand that some things are trauma, some things are a lot deeper than they seem.
Welcome
but
to the family.
we don't want no butt hurt sentiments today. You know what I'm saying? If you want to express your opinion, it's not going to be an attack on men nor attack on women. It's going to be about the truth of your situation. You know, from that perspective, not to downput, not to bash nobody in particular. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to it. Let's get to it.
So dealing with toxic relationships. So tonight I do want to make sure that everybody knows that we're talking about just anything that's toxic, whether it be your job, the relationship with a friend, a boyfriend, girlfriend, even friends, people that have wore out their expiration date in your life. I think it's very important that no matter what type of bond you have with someone, sometimes those purposes are for a season. So tonight I want to talk about expiration dates. And shout out to Poetic RN for the 10 subscriptions.
Yeah, thank you for the subscriptions.
We really appreciate it. So Poetic wants to do her introduction of what she does on Saturdays, and then we'll jump right into it. So think about what's toxic in your life right now that you can really do away with. Go ahead, Poetic.
This topic actually ties in really well with my Saturday show, which is going to be part 2 of mental health. There will be social workers and as well as different psychologists up on the platform. So I'm hoping that everybody can join. But what I do want to say about mental health, my 2.2 here, is that a lot of times toxicity, it actually stems from our mental health. I was doing some research, and sometime when we get in toxic relationships, whether it be with an employer, a toxic relationship with a spouse, or a significant other, it stems from problems sometime in our childhood. And actually, if we don't unpack that trauma, we actually dump over into our relationship, whether our relationship be with friends, be with family members, or whoever. We need to actually heal. So mental health is important. So there's nothing wrong with actually talking to a therapist for, 30 minutes a week if you need to, or once a month. There's nothing wrong with it. You may find sometime that you have issues that you have not resolved. And the last thing I'm going to say, those self-help books on here on the app, they're not good, because you will start unpacking trauma that you are not ready to actually live with, actually cope with. So do not do those self-help books without a therapist on board, because you will unpack trauma that you do not know how to cope with in life, and it can cause you to spiral out of control.
Right. So let's talk about it. Toxic job, finances, being in a toxic work environment. Has anybody ever had to what you call stay on a toxic job because of living means? So it's easier said than done. So ever had to what because of living means? So it's easier said than done. We'll tell job is toxic. You have to stay there because you can't use topics. How do you deal with working in a toxic work environment? Has anybody dealt with that? Thank you again, Poetic, for the subscriptions.
Thank you for the subscription.
Tracy just got a new job. Tracy, let's talk about it.
Yeah, it did just glitch for a
Tracy
second.
drove the bus for Disney. Uh-oh.
Nah, it's good. It glitched for a second. Somebody was saying it's glitching. It did glitch for a second.
Okay.
It's back though. It should be
Tracy,
back right.
I want to use you for an example. Tracy drove the Disney bus for years, but Tracy's health was failing. They were overworking her, talking to Poetic RN and finding out things about Tracy, face swelling, leg swelling. We prayed for Tracy to get out that toxic work environment. So Tracy, can you talk a little bit about being in that toxic work environment? And was it the finances that kept you there longer when your health started going down?
Yes, I was. I first say that I was in denial. I was in denial. I knew things was going on. What it was is a company that has contracts with Disney, SeaWorld, and Universal. And I would get on that bus and I would work at least 3 to 4 days out the week. And I would work 17-hour shifts to where I would eat whenever I had time to eat, not taking care of myself. Some days I would actually sleep over in my car. And where I know Netra don't know about some of it, but I would sleep over in my car just so that I wouldn't be late for work or miss time, because it would take me an hour and 15 minutes to get back to work, to and from. To where I had a friend that I made inside one of the urgent care centers at the hospital emergency room right outside the airport here in Orlando. And she would actually let me go in there, take my shower, do what I need to do as a female, and change uniforms, come back out, jump back on the bus. And I would just continue to do that to where almost right at 2 years with that particular one. And I just was in denial with my health. And one day Netra was like, Tracy, one leg is bigger than the other one. And I said, oh girl, there's nothing wrong with me. You know, do I put my health on the back burner? And then I began to hear Poetic talking one day. And I began to say, Lord, I always put everything else before me. But now I can feel myself getting sick, blood pressure getting up. But I'm thinking about if I miss a day of work, I could bring home between $1,400 to $2,000 a week. I can't miss a beat because what's going to happen? Oh God, I don't want to miss a day of what's going to happen. But I need to get to the doctor. But this job was like, I don't want you to miss a day. I'm going to, if I miss a day, I'll call in sick. He'll take 2 or 3 days from me and let me go with no pay. And I'm like, I can't afford to do that. But then my life, I said, I got to put me first, to where I had enough strength to get up in Poetic panel. And that Netra came right up in there. And I promised them that I was going to see about it. And I began to take care of myself. I began to go see a doctor. Now I'm not on no blood pressure medicine. As she just told you, I let that toxic job go. Now they withholding my last check and won't even give it to me. They won't even give it to me, and I'm fighting like hell these last few days to get it. After I just buried my uncle. But I'm not going to let that stop me, because I'm going to tell you, my new job started last night. And Poetic, all I'm doing is just sitting there, or I could walk around the emergency room and they say, you fine, honey, do whatever you want to do. Just make sure every guest in this emergency room have a badge on that say they're a visitor. And I say, are you serious right now? And they say, yes, that's all we need you to do. Just make sure every guest there And here I am passing out tissues to the ones who had a loved one pass away. Here I am saying a prayer for that one and that one. And I say, my Lord Jesus, I ain't say where I work, so I think I'm okay to continue. But this woman that didn't take care of herself. And Lord knows it could have been me. But she gave birth 4 days ago to a little girl. That little girl came out black and blue was her color. But she was another color woman. And they tried to save that little girl. And last night she did not make it. That infant didn't make it. But if that mother would have took care of herself, that infant could have made it. I say, Lord, that could have been me. But thank God, everything on TikTok is not bad. But I thank God, and that's why I said all the time, Poetic and Netra, I thank God for you guys. Because I still could have been in that same toxic situation, sleeping in my car with my pupil or with a knife or something in my hand, making sure nobody come and try and break my window to come get me. But you didn't know I was sleeping in my car, Netra, because I could act like I'm going home, and I wasn't even going home. I was going to park my car just so that I could be in a safe location where some cameras at the emergency room is facing my car. But I'm telling you, I don't have to do that no more. I'm 15 minutes down the road now at a big hospital. But I'm glad that I listened to my sisters. And that's my story. I'm glad about it, y'all. Thank y'all. I'm gonna mute up now.
Amen, Tracy. Now that's the story, girl.
Congratulations
Getting
again.
out of that toxic situation, Tracy. Thank God you got you a better job. Y'all, thank y'all for the gifts and the love. Ooh, girl. So now that should encourage somebody tonight. Put yourselves first, because they'll work you to the ground. Ooh, toxic relationships.
I think I went through that at one point in time when I had my business in Dallas. I would work like 18, 19 days straight, and I wouldn't go home. Like at the time, I didn't live in Dallas, and I started seeing how it affect your health. So yeah, like that excessive working without breaks can always wear you down. And in our mind, we be like, we need the money. You can't afford to miss the job. You can't afford to miss these days. So yeah, I understand how hard that could be. It's like it's livelihood or health. And you should never be put in a situation where you got to choose your livelihood over your health.
Well, hello, panel. Hello, everybody. Hey, Slim. I love you.
Hey, pure love.
Hey, Miss Netra. Hey, FOE. I love everyone. I never got up here and told my story about everybody say, okay, yeah, I did name my name Lady Activate. That was because another story. But anyway, I was too like that. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I lost control of my legs is because I was in a situation where I couldn't work for one time because a certain amount of time because I couldn't find a job because I was a felon, right? I'm a felon. And I couldn't find a job. I couldn't find a job nowhere, right? And I was raising 2 kids. And I accept everything, you know what I'm saying? I accept my mistakes. I accept everything, you know what I'm saying? I never got in trouble a day in my life. It took me to be 21 years old to get in trouble because of domestic violence. You understand what I'm saying? And I did wrong, but it was self-defense. Nevertheless, that I couldn't find a job. So I wound up going to social service and I wound up going through all these classes where I passed the classes from Norfolk State and all this stuff. I got certificates from everywhere, you know what I'm saying, like customer service, all this stuff. So I wound up getting me a job, right? But it was the grace of God that gave me that job because I was going from door to door, like job to job, putting the applications, and I kept getting no. And I fell down one night on my knees and I prayed to God, like Lord, please help me. I got 2 kids. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I got to raise my kids. God, He rescued me from getting 10 years. And he gave me 10 years on papers. So I'm thinking, okay, God, you got me out of that situation. I didn't have to go to penitentiary for 10 years. And you put me on 10 years on papers. And this is to prove to you that I can do what you want me to do. So I went out and I put in applications and everything. And everybody was telling me no and stuff. And I went to this last place and it was Little Caesars. It was Little Caesars, and it was right by my mama's house where I was staying with, because I was staying with my mama at the time. And I got so upset about everything. I got disencouraged. I said, man, I don't even care no more. I went in, I put the application in, and I walked back out. I don't even care at this moment, because you won't take me no anyway. I walked out. Next thing I know, one of the young men came out running out the store. He said, hey. I turned around. He said, you need to come back. She ready to do an interview with you now. I said, what? I ain't dressed for no interview. I ain't ready for, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all out of I'm all out of composure. So I went back in and she said, I see something in you. She said, I want you to meet my general manager. And I met the general manager. I wound up getting the job, right? Now, being I'm a felon, you know, when you a felon, you can't get no higher position in life. I worked that job until my assistant manager and my general manager fought for me to become an assistant manager. I became an assistant manager, right? But then COVID came. I caught COVID. And I caught COVID twice. The first time I caught COVID, it was at home.
You gotta watch that word. You can't keep saying that C word.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, they hit your page for that.
I know, my bad.
Yeah.
But look, I caught that, right? So I went through what I went through, right? At the end of the day, after I went through all my sickness and everything, I wound up having leg function. I was at work and it was my shift to run. I ran my shift. It was on a Sunday. I had to run my own shift. And so I was at work and my right leg went out. And I was like, oh, it went to sleep. I said, well, it's going to be all right. I'm good. It's going to come back. You know what I'm saying? It's going to come back. It never came back. I worked my whole shift.
Pure love, don't get mad at me. Please don't get mad at me. We only have a 2-hour show, and it's about toxicity. So if it's about like a toxic relationship.
My whole thing is, I know. The toxic thing is, after everything I went through, my boyfriend, like, he was supportive, but now he not supportive with me. Because now he think that, okay, you did good through all it, but now you can do something. And now he's starting to be real evil with me. And because I already know that it's bad on him. Like, what do I do now? Because now he's starting to be like real evil with me. He's starting to gonna talk to me any kind of way, and he not understanding the pain that I'm going through. Like, it's a toxic relationship for me, because it's been real toxic for me lately, because we've been fussing, we've been fighting, we've been doing all of that stuff, all because of my sickness. And then I got my mama's sickness. So I don't understand what to do, because I'm going through all of this over the sickness that I got. And now I'm blaming myself because I got sick. And then it's running my relationship.
Yeah, anybody that's making you feel like that, you need to get away from them. Because
why do you stay?
Because he feel like everything is on him, because now I can't work.
So now, you stay because of finances, but does he eat? So do you have your own place, or are you living with him?
No, I got my own place.
So he living with you?
Yeah, but it's like he pay bills in here. He do everything. Like, everything fell on him because I can't work now.
So you need
But
him
when
for
I finally
financial
when I finally got my disability, what a year I take over some of this, but everything is still like everything else is still on him, and it's like I don't know what else to do to prove to him like, look, I appreciate everything you do for me, but the thing about it is you cuss me out, you fuss me out, you call me names, you're mad with me, you're evil with me. What can I do to show? Like, I don't know, like everything I'm doing, like it's not enough.
Has he ever been physical with you?
Yeah, it's been plenty of times we've been physical.
You want to get out.
See how she said we, hold on, you got to pay attention. Poetic RN asked her, is he physical? I pay real good attention, so it's very important, and I like to follow up with clarity. Poetic RN said, is he physical to you? And she said, yes, we're physical. So,
yeah, because when you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back.
Okay, so he is physical with you.
Yeah, when he get intoxicated, yes, and when he get me, I'm gonna hit him back. Like that's how I am. Like I don't care. I'm not gonna let no man disrespect me.
Lady, activate. I guess I wasn't gonna tell my.
But that's how I am. I'm not gonna let the man disrespect me. I don't care who I am. I don't care.
Let me tell you, coming from somebody.
But I love him so much because we've been together. It's not like we just got together. We've been together for years.
How much do you love you? This my question, and let Glam talk to you, but let this one soak. How much do you love you so much? And I'm gonna make up.
So, Miss Lady Activate, when I met my son's father, I think that I already had low self-esteem.
I'll be honest with you, I don't.
And abusive men know what women to pick. They just do. They know the women they can run over. They know the women they can do what they want to. They know the women that's going to allow them to hit them and they still be able to come back. And so whenever I met him, I stayed with him for 5 years. I ended up losing custody of my son because of this man. My mom passed away and I was still with this man. I walked around with 2 black eyes at one time, 7 months pregnant, and protected him.
But you know what though, to know my story.
Just listen really quickly. Fought my cousins and my uncles and everybody else because they would want to fight him because of how he did me. And the thing is, no matter what we say tonight, you're not going to leave until you're ready, because no matter what my mama said, no matter what my mama did, she died, and I still wanted to be with him. And it took me getting tired and him almost unaliving me for me to finally say enough was enough. There was breaks. And if you, Poetic can tell you, there's the honeymoon stage, and then there's the build up. So you'll have a stage where everything be good. He be lovey-dovey. He be, baby, let me kiss on you. Let me love you. Let me give you flowers. Then boom, he hits you. And the time between those two begins to get shorter and shorter and shorter. And it's like a fuse that just
keeps. The thing about it is though, he'll just be sitting around whipping my ass.
And what ended up happening to me is I have scars on my body because this man took boy.
Don't make me laugh.
Around here whipping my ass and knocking my head in the damn sink.
Right. So what I'm telling you is, it doesn't get better.
It's not funny.
And no, I'm just saying, it's like, okay, yeah.
No matter.
Yeah, because I don't want them to say we dumping on the Glam. So
no,
I ain't knocking her head on the wall.
So
I ain't look touch. I'm sorry. What I'm saying is, I understand.
And she said she ain't lit touch, so calm down, Glam. We don't need that.
Yeah, I ain't little touch. I look. I understand what Glam's saying. My whole thing is, I'm not gonna sit around here and be like, yeah, he right here beating my ass. No, he not doing it. My whole thing is,
you ever hit him first?
I think it's a lot of pressure on him, but it's toxic with us because we're not on the same page. You understand what I'm saying?
Have you ever hit him first, Lady Activate?
Sometimes I've knocked the shit out of him.
Yeah, y'all in there fighting, y'all sparring partners. Y'all need to go out here.
Name is Pumptuous.
I'll be real with you. Those relationships, even if you look real quick, Lady Activate. I'm gonna be honest. As a nigga that I've been in several toxic relationships. Shit, one of them got my ass fucked up. Feel me? Now, as a nigga that done been in that, one thing about it don't. Y'all never gonna stop touching each other. It only get easier and easier and easier. That's one reason I had to learn. No matter how much, even when I thought that I had self-restraint, no, you only can take so much, and y'all only gonna tolerate so much. And once y'all done broke the ice of being physical with one another, it's no longer. It's really like a lack of respect. There's there's a weird, twisted attachment, but there's a lack of respect and there's a loss of love for both of y'all in each other's eyes. That's the reason why he talks to you the way he do. That's the reason why he treats you the way he do. Y'all, the only thing you could do in those situations is leave. And the reason why I'm saying, it's better to leave, because there's a such thing as loving somebody to death. What if one of these times y'all in there, you go knock the shit out of him, he hit you back and you fall, hit your head on something, or you hit him and he fall and he hit his head on something. All of this was a simple little situation that it escalated, all because of somebody you saying that you love somebody. That ain't enough.
And that's what I'm saying, though, Slim. That's why I told him, I say, look, we need to get together and we need to have a deep conversation, because for real, I'm scared of that, because I know who I am. And he been locked up. So he been locked up for 5 years. So my whole thing is, I don't think he's healed from that. And I haven't healed from my trauma. So all I'm asking him is like, look.
Maybe y'all need a break.
And that's what I'm trying to tell. I'm like, look, we both traumatized right now. We ain't had a time to fix ourselves, because we just jumped right back into the relationship. But my whole thing is, I'm going through, the reason why I say it's toxic, it's hell, because we are not on one page. One day we'll be on one page, the next day we fuss.
Y'all not gonna be on one page. Y'all probably not even fit to be together. A lot of times y'all be thinking that you done got comfortable with a motherfucker. That's what happened when you move into a relationship fast. Y'all done got comfortable with each other. Y'all done been around each other so long that there's an attachment now and you used to them. Y'all ain't in love no more, because when you in love, you don't want to fight.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't like drama. I don't like that DV shit. I don't like that fussing shit. I like to laugh, play, joke, and enjoy each other. I don't like all that dumb shit. But I think the fact that I think it's him drinking that takes something to do with everything. Like when he drinks,
it can't be the liquor, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I done been drunk.
Slim.
I feel you, but it's not just you can't blame it on that, because I'll be drunk as hell and I don't.
And you're right.
I've been in a relationship with this lady, you know what I'm saying, for as long as we've been together, and I ain't never raised my hand to her ever again, because I value and I respect. Never have I raised my hand to her. I value and respect her. And when you value and respect somebody, no amount of liquor, no amount of nothing is gonna bring that shit up out of me.
Right.
It's y'all dynamic. Y'all don't mix. Y'all probably got some. I know how this shit go. The best way, most toxic relationships work with. Y'all probably fuck real good. That's about it. That's all y'all got.
After dark, walking like you talking with Slim and Miss Netra.
One of y'all gonna end up in the grave, or one of y'all gonna end up at the station, or one of y'all gonna end up at the station, and the other one ain't gonna be able to come back to the house. And a lot of times, the woman end up getting put out, and the man can still stay there.
And sometimes people don't know what trauma bonding is. Trauma bonding is when you get this emotional attachment to your abuser. He has issues with the drinking that he does. That drinking may actually be something he's trying to deal with as far as unpacking stuff in his head, what's going on with him. He's having issues that he hasn't unpacked yet. So he's drinking to mask his symptoms. And in the meantime, taking the abuse out on you, and you taking the abuse out on him.
You understand what I'm saying?
Baby, that don't matter. So let me do a real quick commercial real quick, and then we're going to make sure we let everybody speak on the panel. We still have Top Chef that has not spoke. We have Just and Most Loved. Thank y'all for being here. We have not reached 100,000. If we could please tap the screen, let's get up to 100K. We need a couple of more of the hand hearts upstairs. Also, if you don't mind gifting a panel, you can do that as well. We do have cash apps going across the screen. There are 3 different cash apps there: Slim, myself, as well as Poetic RN. You're not obligated to bless them, but if you choose to, we appreciate it. Thank you to those that are subscribing to the channel. Welcome to Walk It Like I Talk It After Dark with Slim and Miss Netra. And again, Poetic RN. She must give a commercial real quick about what we do on Saturdays, and then we'll go straight into Top Chef. Thank y'all for being here. Poetic, you want to do your commercial?
Every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., I do a health live, and we have different topics from physical health to emotional health to mental health. And actually in 2 weeks, we're actually doing sexual health. Since it's after dark, the nurse practitioner found a cream that you can use that is called Screen Cream. So she will tell you guys about that in 2 weeks. So make sure you guys are there to hear about that.
Thank you. It's on you, Tasha.
Hey, y'all. First of all, I'd like to say I am so blessed to be a part of this panel. What you all are doing is just so productive to what TikTok and its listeners need. I would like to say I haven't been a recipient of DV. However, I have always put myself in a place where I hope I presented my place as to with anybody I've dealt with, that this is not acceptable unto me. And what I would advise to you, sis, I'm hearing you say this and you say that, and you've got reasons, but until you love you more, until you love you more, and until you respect yourself at a level that is undeniable, you may continue to rest in this position. If not with him, with someone else. You've got to be satisfied and secure in your place as the woman that you are and what you bring to the table. And baby, you got to get in your mind, if I ain't with nobody else ever, before I deal with that, I'm okay and I love myself more. That's my 2.0.
This is good to me. Tap the screen. Ooh. Just, oh, go ahead, Slim. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say self-love is one of the biggest things that you gotta discover first. That's where you figure out yourself. A lot of times we jump into these relationships without even knowing us. Like, you don't even know yourself right now, so you can't love yourself and they can't love you either. A lot of us are walking around just moving from person to person, and it seems like you think it's the people that you coming into contact with, but it's a lot of you. It's a lot of you. You are attracted to toxicity at some point. Like I'm a man that was attracted to toxicity. I used to think it was okay for a woman to go inside my motherfucking head. That's when she loved me. All of that crazy shit, blowing up my phone, fighting, arguing all the time. I used to think that was what love was. And then when I started actually loving and valuing myself, I started realizing, like, bro, I don't want to do all this shit. That ain't love. Who the fuck loves somebody that want to fight and argue all the time? Y'all can't get along about nothing. No, you gotta really, really start to evaluate yourself and see what it is that keep you in these toxic situations.
Thank y'all for the gifts. Oh, this is good. A good topic tonight. We might have to finish this one next week too, Slim.
You're right, Slim. I don't love myself right now. And it's because I've been going through a lot, and I am going through depression. And I am going through a lot because of the fact that I'm not able to do the things that I used to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not able to work anymore. I'm not able to go see my son. I'm not able to, to go see my son play football and stuff. Like, I'm not able to do nothing no more because of my legs. I'm not able to take care of my mom no more the way I used to take care of her. It's a lot going on with me right now. And you're right. You are absolutely right. It's a lot that I'm going through. You understand what I'm saying? And I do take accountability for a lot of stuff because I know how I am. When I get depressed and I get frustrated and I feel like don't nobody hear me and don't nobody give a damn about me, I go off.
The first thing you gotta, even in it, like I'm hearing what you're saying, you gotta remember that you are not your situation.
Thank y'all, Sherelle.
You are not your situation. You are not your condition. You are not none of that. Just because you are unable to provide, you still have plenty of value. You first got to be able to look at yourself and find the value within yourself. When you start basing it off of what you can give instead of who you are at the core and in your heart, it's gonna always be depressing because you comparing yourself to other people around you, and comparison is the thief of joy. You can't look at where you was or where you was at one point in time. Trust me, I know. That's why I was drinking so goddamn heavy and I was so depressed because I kept looking at where I was instead of where I am today. Today you have plenty of opportunity. Today you still got plenty of value. You woke up, long as you on this stuff again. Gotta look in the mirror and love on you.
Right.
And you right.
And what can we do?
You said the comparison is the thief of joy. That was huge. That was huge.
And that's why I know. That's why I don't even take pictures. I don't do nothing.
Thank y'all for the gift.
Because I feel like that. Okay, when I look at my old man, I feel like that he don't look at me the same way. I feel like if I was to get a job, like they're gonna be looking at me like, even though they say, "Oh yeah, you got a ticket to work, you can go to work while you disabled," but people gonna look at you like you crazy when you around there anyway, because the way you walk, the way you look, anything. So I choose not to do that because I don't like the things that's going on with me. I don't like my physical. I don't like who I am. Like, I do have that kind of disbelief in myself, and I don't love myself right now. I love myself, but I don't feel like I'm beautiful. I don't feel like I am worthy because of the shit that I have accomplished with my sickness and my disability. That's just how it is. And it's like that. And that's why I said, yeah, it's becoming draining because it's becoming draining to my son.
Do you understand?
You know what? Those things don't define who you are. Your illness never defines who you are.
Exactly.
You have to define who you are, not by your illnesses or not what you've been through. So therapy is a good thing to go through so you can unpack some of that and start loving yourself. Don't define yourself by an illness, or don't define yourself by where you've been through. You don't drive your car backwards, you drive your car forward. So the rearview mirror is there for you to take a glance at. You need to look forward, get a good therapist, speak with the therapist so you can start loving yourself again and never be defined by your illnesses. You are you are who you are, and you just so happen to be a person who has an illness. Never let that define you.
Right, you can work part-time from home. You can work part-time from home on SSI because my niece do it. She work from home.
What I wanted to bring up to you.
It's so hard because I can't focus on myself because I'm the POA of my mom. So everything that's going on with my mom, I have to be there. So I can't just say,
first off, you got to stop talking to yourself like that. You got to stop talking to yourself like that. No, listen. Your self-talk is a big contributor to why you feel the way that you feel. Yeah, you're the one. You're putting yourself in this because you keep saying what you can't do. Let's start figuring out what you can do.
And how much you think that he adds to them negative thoughts? As it sounds, as he's not inspirational, he's not motivational, he's not keeping you up.
You are partly your own toxicity. And you have to detox yourself.
Promise.
It just made me mad because he always get mad, but like, you don't do nothing. You see her.
Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Speak life, sis.
You need to get that man away from you first of all. Okay, how you gonna pick yourself up with somebody pushing you down all the time? If that man ain't adding nothing, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd rather struggle than to ever be in love or be stuck in a relationship where it's not just me against, it's not just somebody else against me, it's me against me and somebody else.
Say it again.
You good for me financially, but I need you emotionally. I need you physically. I don't need your finances. The finances I got on my own. I just need somebody that's gonna pour love into me and help me be better for me.
But you're not prepared to accept that love because you're not loving yourself. So nobody can love you until you love yourself. You have to pour into yourself before somebody else can pour into you. You can't look on the outside. You have to look from within and get that from yourself first. And then that person adds to you.
And that's a struggle because I'm always putting everybody before I put myself.
That's how I was, Lady Activate. That's how I was. Now look at this picture.
I never think about myself.
Look at this picture behind me. When I move my head, I want you to see this is where I had to take a turn after these ladies right here told me what I need to do, and I still was being hard-headed, still making excuses. After that right there happened to me.
Can I say something?
I'm telling you. Netra seen it, and I still was in denial, still making excuses. My leg was about to bust, and now I have no problems. My legs are even now. I'm not even on the medication no more. I'm eating right because I stopped making excuses and started doing something for myself and going to the doctor like they told me to.
Yeah, because I am a diabetic, and I just had a whole neuropathy flare up. My mom.
But I had to stop making excuses. I'm telling you.
I didn't want to go to the hospital, and I just went to the hospital. I just got to the hospital the day before yesterday, and they told me it was like your neuropathy flared up. And you need to rest yourself. But I can't rest myself with my mama POA. Ain't nobody's going to be there for my mama but me.
Okay, stop scratching. Yeah. Can I say something 2.2, Miss? Because I don't want this to be a they say trauma dumping, or we ganging
Oh no,
up
I
on
ain't
you.
trauma dumping. I'm
No,
just
but let
explaining
me
my
try to encourage you to think like this. A lot of times our body suffers from our mental. You're young, you look well, but I always hear you talk about your legs and your ability to walk and maneuver around. And a lot of that could be bound from mental disorder. And I'm not diagnosing you, I'm just saying I'm mental.
I have it.
Listen, hear me out. Let me finish. The mental bondage. Like I had a friend that you could not tell her she wasn't having seizures. But when it all boiled down to her diagnosis, she was fucking stressed. She would put her body in a state like she was stressed. It was her mom had died, she was stressed. So what you have to do is love yourself first. We cannot stress to you enough. Because at the end of the day, you're only going to get older to where you won't have the ability. And that man probably maneuver around, go where he want to go, open that door, walk, go in and out. Yeah, well,
I've been there, Miss Netra.
I'm just telling you, love yourself. And what can we do to help you? What can we do to help? There is a lady that offers resources to help get you out of situations, because hear me out. There is no excuse to continue to accept abuse. Mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. If it's abuse, it's abuse. Sometimes a lick over the head feels better than mentally being abused. So if there's anything that we can do as far as FOE to provide some resources for you to do better in your living situation, let us know. And that's my 2.2.
Can we hear from Jess?
Thank you with the cash up. I appreciate you.
I was trying to get some kind of information on what I can do to better my situation with, you know what I'm saying, with everything that I'm going through, because I'm not going to dog him out like he's not a bad man. It's just that I think that everything I'm going through is like deflecting on him. And so like, he's just like angry about the whole situation, but I just want to understand my situation and my feelings. You know what I mean? Like like this whole situation for 4 years have took a toll on me. I've been like this for 4 years. 4 years.
Yeah, now
I went from being
I'm gonna be honest with you real quick, Lady Activate. I'm gonna tell you the realest shit I can ever tell you. It probably gonna hurt. It's gonna sound a little rude. Y'all forgive me.
Say it, Slim. I don't care.
I ain't gonna lie to you. The more you keep on talking to us about your shit, you're gonna keep on being in it. You like telling your story. Right now, you okay with your own pain. You okay with the shit that you're going through. If the moment you decide to get ready to walk up out of that shit, you can tell everybody else in the world about what's going on, but it ain't gonna change shit until you decide to say fuck that nigga and fuck everybody else that's putting me that I'm putting myself last for. You ain't shit gonna change. You could tell us till you blue in the face and help us understand everything that you're enduring in that relationship and in that situation. But until you get tired of telling the damn story and say, look, I'm sick of this shit, I'm gone, that's the only time that something gonna change. We can give you 1,000,001 resources. Ain't nothing gonna change until you decide to make a change.
Facts. Thank you for cash. Thank you for my cash out. Cash.
Because you even you're defending your whole situation. You defending the same person that's putting you down right now. You defending the right to be able to talk about your shit and talk negatively to yourself. You defending you like being there right now. And I get it. Sometimes it's easier to be the victim than it is, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to feel like the victim until, you know what I'm saying? Because it take a lot of motherfucking perseverance. It take a lot of energy to do something different. But until you decide to do something different, baby, I ain't gonna lie to you. You can talk to you blue in the face. Ain't shit gonna change.
And I'm gonna tell you something, Slow. You are so right, but you know what?
We gotta hear from Jess.
And I mean that without love.
Activate. Listen, I'm sorry. What? Can y'all hear me? I'm sorry. Hey, Pam. Hey.
It's on you, Jess.
Comment cousins. I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you, right? And Tracy, no, I've told her this too. toxic, we started on the jobs, right? I've never been through DV or whatever, but I've had toxic jobs. The last 2 toxic jobs I had, it left me with a ruptured brain aneurysm that I'm grateful to be here right now. You understand me? But people was trying to say, oh, you know, you disabled, blah, blah, blah. And I'm hearing you say you can't work. Baby, I sit here. Netra, am I lying? 9 hours a day. At home, working.
Having a ruptured aneurysm, a brain aneurysm.
I be seeing you work, Jess. I be seeing.
See here. I'm right here. But I'm right here. No excuses. Stress with both of them jobs led me to that. You hear me? Don't say you can't work. Yeah, you can. I'm doing it right now, 9 hours a day, Monday through Friday. Tracy, congratulations, babe. I'm happy you listened to us. We knew. Netra didn't know, but we knew. Lady activator.
Now y'all didn't tell me Tracy was sleeping in the
Only
apartment.
you know
We'll
when enough is enough. Only you know when enough is enough, sweetheart. And right now, I don't think you had enough right now. Because if so, it's too many heavy things in your house to lay that. Let me stop.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really just say that. They be fighting. It's both of them.
That's it.
Though it's like I understand it. Like it is enough is enough. And my mama always told me, she said, "Baby, you ain't never gonna be tired until you be tired and walk away." My mama always told me that. You understand what I'm saying? And I love him. I do. I love my man because he do hold things down when I can't. He do.
That be that talk right there, boy.
I think you love the idea of a relationship with the man because that's what you would love, because you right now you don't have a man. A man wouldn't treat you like that. Your man would not treat you like that, sis. So what I'm saying is I think you're in love with the fantasy of a relationship. And I'm gonna say this, no shade, no harm, but I don't think you think that you're anybody else because of what you're going through, because of what you're dealing with. And so you are willing to accept the cesspool that you're resting in. And that's unacceptable, sis. You can do better. You are better. And you need some encouragement and some lifting up. And you need to know and dig deep. And until you get that, you will rest in that cesspool with every excuse in the world. That's all we can do.
This is good to me, y'all. Tap the screen. Thank you for 100K. Let's work on 200K. We are less. We might go over a little tonight, but we are 1 hour into this live. Go ahead and finish off the love hearts up there. Good conversation. Grown up after dark conversation. We want to turn it over to Poetic RN right now. Continue to share out the live. Can we get 200 shares? Thank y'all for the cash apps that are coming in. We really appreciate Wednesday nights after dark, where we do the grown and sexy thing. And we do the right thing because we fellowship. Go ahead, Poetic, take us to our next level, and then it's up in the stuff.
We're going to be here every Wednesday, and they're doing it on Slim's panel because of the setup. Netra likes that. So if you guys just go ahead and subscribe, and we're here every single Wednesday discussing Walk It Like You Talk It with Slim and Miss Netra. So go ahead and subscribe because it's every week. That is all I'm going to say for now.
Poetic, they say it's glitching real bad, y'all. They saying in the comments.
Throw some gifts. Send me my line.
If it's glitching, it's probably like y'all need to tap the screen. But I'm watching the live from another phone. It's not glitching on my end, so you might need to go out and come back in.
It's not glitching on mine at all.
Mine either.
Slim, you had the words up there bigger last week. I didn't have to have these big old glasses on. Now I can't. It's smaller than down below.
Oh, they're bigger now.
Are they? No.
Yeah, they bigger than they was last time. I blew them up so we can see all the comments.
And just so y'all know, when you say, but I love him or I love her, you can still love that person. You just don't have to be in a relationship with them. But that love doesn't end.
Yeah.
When you choose you over everything, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Slim.
When you choose you over everything, I ain't gonna lie to you, start to learn like it's people that I never talk to again that I still love to this day. But I gotta love you from over there. You know what I'm saying? If I heard somebody was trying to do them harm, I'll reach out to them. They didn't cross me, did me wrong, all kind of shit. But I still love you. I just can't fuck with you no more. And it ain't nothing wrong with it being that way. You gotta learn to love people from a distance. Everybody you love ain't meant to be in your life for the long haul. Some people are here for a season, some are here for a reason. Right now, this season could be for you to fall in love with yourself. You might need to see how far you done fell down so you can pick yourself back up, dust yourself off, and adjust your crown and get back to your shit. But until you decide that that's what you truthfully want for yourself, ain't nothing gonna change.
And you'd be surprised how many people will be attracted to you because you have that self-love. They see you loving yourself, they gonna love you because you love yourself. And you think that, okay, I got this man, you don't know how many more men you may attract because you love yourself.
Confidence and self-love is very attractive.
Oh, I want to hear from Most Loved. How are you, sir?
And if you want to request up and join the panel to be able to speak or to any situation you want to bring something to the forefront, feel free to request up. We are not just holding the box and stagnant. You could definitely request in.
Right. I could drop Slim. I'll drop and let somebody else come up, y'all.
Okay. Love you, Tracy.
All right, love y'all too.
Tracy, thank you. We're proud of you, Tracy.
Yes, I'm going to get ready for work.
All right. Congratulations again. I hope you have a good night at work.
Y'all.
So for me personally, I'm a channel mine into verbal abuse. I do not tolerate verbal abuse. I shut down, and then from shutting down, I immediately cut it off. Immediately. I cannot dwell in that. I ran away from that energy. I didn't understand and noted that I was going through that for a while. And then when it really dawned on me and hit me that that's what I was experiencing, yeah, I just don't play in that space anymore. Yeah, I don't.
Have you always been in abusive relationships, or is it new to you?
No. The new part is the recognition of it. So, no, every relationship I've been in has not been a abusive one. But my last couple
Thank
were.
God for the gifts.
My last couple were, and
your last relationship was abusive?
my last couple was verbal.
Oh my.
Verbal abuse is horrible. It's horrible.
And you won't hear that from most men. You won't hear that. This is a part of me giving some vulnerable to my family right now. Being vulnerable with y'all and just giving y'all that part of me. You won't hear that from most men. We deal with it a lot, and we take it on the chin and just come in day to day. Not including the toxic workforce, the toxic society that we come from and then having to go into a household where that energy dwells at too. So yeah, when I really start standing up on business and really
1 second, AJ. Somebody got an echo. Somebody has an echo. And Miss Ortiz, because we on YouTube, can you please turn your camera on? Go off. It stopped. I don't know who it was.
It wasn't me. Are we good?
Go off. Yeah, it stopped.
Okay. So yeah, y'all having self-recognition of that, man. Able to channel in and know where I want my peace to lie is what's been helping me, honestly. You gotta take that peace serious. When you gain some peace, you gotta take it so serious because it's not an easy place to get to. It's not an easy place to get to. You know your struggle, you know your battle. You understand? So when someone's trying to demean you of the growth, you have to take that step away and say, no, I didn't go through this process. I didn't grow through this process. I didn't get with God and let him chisel me out and shake me out the way I am today for someone to easily come in and just have that domain over me.
What do you think allowed you to tolerate some verbal abuse? Because if you say it's been a cycle, there's something in you that's been attracted
Because
to it.
what I think that I where I thought that it was okay is because the way that society shaped me out to be. A man don't complain about this. A man don't complain about this, that, and the other. Even when a woman, even when you're sharing and you're open to a woman, it gets thrown back in your face, right? So that's what we kind of experienced and noticed through our relationships and growing up and coming through life is when a man expresses his vulnerable side, it usually gets used and thrown against us to where we're like, damn, where you made me and told me that this is a comfort zone, a safe haven, you utilized that against me. That's a hurtful place to take a man. That's a hurtful place to take a man.
Can I say
Go ahead.
Can I reply?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's where lies the importance of courting and whatnot, because red flags are everywhere and it can be detected. And if you've been in that type of situation, I look for them. I have shut down potential relationships just by tuning into that individual's conversation with others, his mannerisms. And I'm you've got to put some feelers on and get to know people. It's just like going through the drive-thru. You see him, meet him, boom, we together. And we have got to work on courtship. And it might sound corny, I'm 63, so I am old school, admittedly, but I have not dealt with some of the things that y'all are dealing with because I apply those principles. So courtship is extremely important to get to know one another. And it doesn't mean that you have to sever all ties, but maybe an intimate relationship is not what's required at the moment. Maybe just a friendship. But as if we dive into these relationships as though there's nothing else left because, I don't know, out of desperation or whatever, we miss out on really taking note of who this individual is. Not just what he's presenting at the moment, but who he is. And that takes time, and it's worth it in the long run sometimes. So my advice is to evaluate, take time and don't put no labels on it. Just a courtship, getting to know each other, feeling each other out. Who are you and who will you be to me?
Yeah, and I think that's another thing about
just a to me.
Can I ask a question too? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You said your last couple of relationships were toxic, and just hear me out.
They were verbal abuse.
Verbally abusive. I tried to say toxic, but okay. Verbal abuse that you were in your last couple of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Are you, and this probably sound bad with it being a man, because if a man say this to a woman, we will tear him apart. Is it something, because I read one of the comments, I got to just say it, after dark, is it anything that you could be doing? Oh God, y'all, I don't condone abuse. I don't condone abuse. I do not. But, and it probably sounds bad because if they ask this, if it's toxic with a woman, oh God. But I must ask, is there anything that you participate in that will make your last relationships be I say toxic, you say verbal abuse?
You are who you are. So I don't think nothing I can do can drive you to do something.
There's a way to make your point, put your point across without being verbally abusive.
I promise it's simple. I promise it is. But yeah, y'all, I just,
I think there are ways to get your point across without verbally abusing someone, as mad as you may be. There are ways to say, I do not like this behavior. I'm not going to tolerate whatever you got to say, but you do not have to to verbally abuse someone in that process? What is it about that individual they can't communicate any other type of way? Respectfully.
But sometimes I'm gonna say this, and this how verbally abusive relationships tend to start. You are possibly passive, know what I'm saying, as fuck as a man when you are in the relationship and y'all communicating. You allow a person to start talking to you rougher and rougher instead of saying, hey, look, I'm not gonna tolerate you talking to me in that manner. I'm not going for that. And that part where y'all said when it was about the when you go back to the courting, you can't properly court someone if you don't know yourself. And the reason why is because you're gonna see some shit and you're gonna be like, am I tripping? And then you're gonna be like, yeah, maybe I'm tripping. And that's what make you give off the pass. That's why you give them a pass to do this, and you give them another pass to do that, and you steady ask yourself, am I tripping? And what you tend to do is you start to lose your confidence in the process and your own ability to trust yourself. And you've created the monster. You created the monster. That person that's talking to you verbally abusive, you've okayed everything that they did because you didn't know yourself. And you didn't have no boundaries for yourself.
Let me just say this. T-Money, can you turn your camera on because they're streaming on YouTube? If you can send your questions to either Netra or either Slim's Cash App is running across the screen. You can send your $5 questions to either one of them.
And you can do it to Slim, and then we can whatever at the end, or just do this week Slim, next week me. So send the question Cash Apps to Slim so he can bring it on the microphone.
All
right. I would like to say this. Somebody said that it's not always the man's fault that their mother was abusive to a man. I never said that, and that was not my go-to because I have seen abusive women. I know that women can start and be abusive, spit on people and all that. I know, like I was young once, I was wet behind the ears. I really feel like in the beginning, in my early 20s, 19, 20, I was abusive to Curtis. I told y'all this the other night. Curtis never, ever, ever imagined hitting a woman, but I had been in an abusive relationship, no excuses, but my anger would make me hit. Like I would get mad and hit him, but I had to outgrow that spasm. I had to outgrow that toxicity that was in my life. You know what I'm saying? Over here picking, look, girl. So I had to outgrow that immature ass stage, wanting to always hit him. And it wasn't right. It just wasn't. So when one day we got into a fight back because he hit back and we was fighting coming down some stairs, I could not at the end of the night have an excuse of why that man hit me back. He fucking got tired. So at the end of the day, when I say, is there anything that we have done? Is there anything that we have done to engage and to help these toxic traits come out? At the end of the day, shit, I was abusive. To me, I was like, because keep your hands to yourself. That's somebody's son. You don't have to hit to get your point across. So now that I'm able to look back in my early 20s and see that I was toxic, I don't mind telling and asking somebody, is there anything that you're doing? Because I was a toxic female in my early, I didn't know you. Me, I was like, because I'm able to look back in my early 20s and say, is there always been like, he laughing. I have not always been a perfect wife, but I can remember being young and dumb. And thank God for growth.
Netra, according to the statistics, 1 in 4 men are either physically or verbally or sexually abused.
Yep.
We got a Cash App question. They asked, are toxic relationships fixable?
You looking at 131 years?
It just depends on how far gone it is. Like how far, if it, like most of the time, the fucked up part about toxic relationships is y'all have great ass highs. It's just y'all lows be bad in the motherfucker, right? Y'all be good in the motherfucker the whole entire. You'll be good for 2-3 months, or sometimes the cycle be faster. It be every month y'all in some shit. But y'all will be good for 3-4 weeks out, 3 weeks out the month, and then you had that one badass week, and it just get really, really bad. It be mentally abusive, physically abusive, and then y'all make up and y'all go back up on that high, and then the cycle gonna go again, and boom, it take you back low. And that's actually what make them addictive, and the reason why you stay in it, because it's a high. It's literally a high. It becomes a way of life, and it's exciting and fun. But it just depends on how far gone y'all toxic shit is. If it's an incident every now and then, that's some shit y'all can work on. But if it's like an overarching, y'all can't seem to get along with each other every week, y'all fighting, yeah, y'all don't need to be together. I think that shit, y'all probably never had nothing in common to actually keep y'all going. Like if y'all fighting every week, that's one thing. Any relationship gonna have some arguments. Even the perfect one. I bet you Jay-Z and Beyonce arguing. We ain't never seen them out in public, know what I'm saying,
Right.
doing nothing. So every one of them every relationship gonna have those arguments in it. It's just about how y'all argue and how y'all choose to fight with one another.
Exactly. To that point is how you argue. Not about arguing. It's about how you're communicating with one another and where the line is drawn and what's acceptable and what's unacceptable in that exchange. And you've got to let them know unequivocally what is acceptable. You're not going to talk to me like that. And in turn, I'm not going to speak with you like that. And respect is the core in that. If you respect the individual, first of all, if you respect yourself, you're not going to take equivocally talk to me like that. Or but if you respect or not used to respecting that respectful bubble, if you will, some people don't even walk in respect, period. They walk in disrespect, and because they don't know that. But you've got to know who you are and what you're willing to accept from any individual. Relationship, I mean, whatever type of relationship it is. Intimate, right. Friendship, whatever, on the job, even on the job, you got to put some of them folks in place at risk of losing your job. Don't allow disrespect to be a normality in your life, because then you're disrespecting yourself. And once you get to the point where that's not going to be a part of who you are, things change. It shifts.
Disrespect don't always come in the form of disrespectfulness. I think what a lot of people don't talk about is over loving somebody is being abusive. Like, I don't know if y'all ever dealt with anybody like this. Like somebody you gotta convince them that you love them for a living. You ever dealt with anybody like that? Mm-hmm. Like, well, I need you to do this, and if you don't love me correctly or hold me correctly or say you love me enough, now I'm pouting. That's definitely abuse. If somebody is making you, I guess, fulfill all of their needs, wants, fantasies, what they agree with, they can never meet you in the middle. And the fucked up thing is, I just described what a lot of people think is a good man.
No.
I'm telling you, you can't say no to me. I'm a man. I'm telling you.
But no, I'm saying everybody don't think that.
But I'm telling you, they do though.
Nah,
I'm giving this out. I'm giving this out so I can make it clear. I like clear communication. So if you right now, as a woman, if you look at the mass, like what's acceptable for us, right? It's us providing, it's us caring. The minute we're in a relationship, we have to take on every single issue, problem. Like your unhappiness is dedicated to us. We got to figure out what's wrong with you. We got to figure out how to make it better.
That's because you're getting with somebody that ain't happy.
Or somebody who's drilling you into making you
right. I'm not into relationships. I got to go fix somebody.
No. I'm not talking about fixing. You're going overboard a little bit. Stay with me real quick. So I'm talking about when I say I'm going to be with you, I signed up to make sure your issues are my issues. So what I mean by that is if you did not have a good day, right, I got to be responsible for that. If somebody made you mad or upset you as the man, it's my job to set the tone. So I have to come in and say, hey, what's wrong with you? What's going on? How you feeling, right? But what I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with that. But there are people in this world that go overboard with that. Because once you see that, you know what? All I got to do is call one because I had an issue and he'll help me. But now you got an issue every day because that's a high too. You like me making you feel better. You like me making you feel coddled. You like more flowers. And now if it's not flowers, now you cry. Now, a lot of people will say, well, he's not being a man and he's falling out of love with you. So tell him to step his game up or apply more pressure. You know what I'm saying? So it's a thin line, but when you have somebody that's making you overdo it, and the world will look at it like, oh, he just being a good man. They don't understand that that's abuse, because now it's like, you know how somebody got that little side smirk, like, oh my God, I'm crying because I'm so hurt, but you're not really hurt. You just wanted me to like feed more into you and your ego. That's a real thing.
It don't sound like the man is overlooked. He's being abused. It sounds like the
Right.
man is being abused and he's being manipulated by the woman. Know what I'm saying? At the
Right.
exact same time, like that's what that sounds like more so. But hold up, real quick before we go out, we got a message. They wanted to ask you, Mr. Most Love. They said you've been in a couple of verbally abusive relationships. When and how long it's gonna take for you to seek help to not repeat your past? I'm sorry, you got me.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Respectfully.
I wouldn't say that's something you foresee. And then the way that I am, I just I'm a praying man, and I also believe in change. So my put into that is me always wanting to keep you motivated, inspired, and uplifted. So by me doing that, I feel like, you know, that's always a challenge that I'm going to take on regardless. Just coming in the door, that's just something that I want to do. So you got to know what you want to be for someone else also, right? It ain't all the way about what you want them to be to you. What is it that you want to be to someone else? So I wouldn't say that I haven't grown out of that, man. That's definitely
You can't.
something I've grown out of. That's something I've grown out of to be able to recognize it. I told you it was a time that I didn't even recognize it. So for me to be able to register it in, then I'm able to check it. Then I'm able to cut it off, and I'm able to move forward and keep it cordial. You know,
the thing that you can't, you can't be yourself to every goddamn body though, right? That's a real thing. You can't be you to everybody. You can't be good to everybody.
Why can't you?
Huh?
I said, why can't you?
Some people don't deserve you. It's a passage in the Bible. I hate to bring the Bible into here, but this is one of my favorite scriptures. It says, do not cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and tear you to pieces. I love that saying because you could be good to somebody that don't know how to appreciate you, and they will fuck your life up. 9 times out of 10, whenever you go into this one reason why I don't like, you know, when you hear dudes that, and I don't want to say it like because I'm making about it, but you hear somebody that panders or whatever, right? They tell you, nah, you should just let that woman do this, and you should let that woman do that, and you know what I'm saying? All of that, bro. That is the same. That's the same. That type of motherfucking treatment to the wrong person, giving the wrong person the right shit will break you. You cannot, if you in a relationship with somebody broken, then you come in trying to fix them, you're gonna break yourself.
Say it again.
You can't be in a relationship with somebody that's broken, because in the process of fixing them, you're gonna break yourself. Broken people are broken because they choose to sit there. It's a difference when you got somebody that's actually putting in the work. It's a difference when you got somebody that's already actively doing their own work, and then you go in and you aid and assist in their growth and their healing and their uplifting. But if you are solely there trying to uplift somebody, 9 times out of 10, bro, you gonna get broke.
So I don't take that as always true, because if you're genuinely a loving, caring person, how can you tell me not to be that to someone? This is who I genuinely
But
am.
what he's saying, I think, be that to someone who deserves that.
Yeah.
Be that to someone who can
Which means you need
reciprocate
to
that.
restrict yourself.
Listen, everybody deserves
I
for
think
you
they
to.
went over your head, AJ. They went over your head.
So get that scripture for them. They asking for that scripture.
Let me go.
That's in Matthew,
You hear me, Johnny?
7,
Yeah,
1
I'm
and
gonna
2.
need that scripture because I never heard that I shouldn't be a loving, caring person consistently.
That's consistent. But
No, that's not what he's saying.
Yoking yourself, that stuff needs to be reciprocated.
That scripture is Matthew 5, 1 and 2, y'all.
Nah, it's Matthew 7, 6.
I was gonna say it like this. Hey, say, bro, if you good, if you
right.
if you work at a bank, right? If you work at a bank, and you know somebody good at counting, like really good mathematics, don't mean that they need to go behind that counter or open the vault. Like you got to restrict your access depending on who they are and what they get of you. You dig what I'm saying?
Say that again, sir, Mr. Juan. Can you say that
Well,
again?
you try to sound deep, but it's shallow as hell.
Can he say that again?
I'm trying to sound deep, but it's shallow. Well, if you listen to what I said and not what you heard, you will get it. So I said, just because I know how to count good and you work at a bank, don't mean I belong behind that counter. So when you're dealing with people, it don't matter that, you know, y'all cool, y'all grown, y'all fucking. Some people don't deserve certain access. That's all.
I agree, but let me say this. I was reading the comments. If they tell you about me, I was reading the comments, so I missed what you said. So I just had to hear it again because my husband, I had somebody in the room agreeing, and I was like, wait, what did he say? So I missed it, but I agree with you. So with that being said, AJ, everybody deserves love, but it's a certain altitude that you can give in that area. Just you don't have to be in love with them to love them. You don't have to be in a relationship to love them. So just because you feel like, well, how can you tell me not to give love and I'm expecting it? But you're expecting a certain type of love. You're not expecting abuse. So just because you have to think of it as what you want, what type of love are you expecting? So you got to get that same love back that you're willing to give out to somebody. So are they worth that type of love? And that's my 2.2.
Excellent.
Yeah, no. So I totally get that part. But what I was stating is, if I'm consistently doing this through my actions, doesn't have to keep on being spoke on. I love you. I care for you. I want to help inspire you, motivate you. I'm just doing these things. I'm just consistently doing these things. And when that comes out consistently, then I think some change may come about somebody. May not. But that doesn't genuinely take from me and who I'm still going to be. Like I'm still gonna be a loving, caring person, regardless. You gon' pick up on some of these ways and be able to adjust and change. Most of the time, it doesn't happen. I done got around some dysfunctional
I'll be real with you.
situations.
Hey, AJ, majority of these women in here that hate that be talking about these niggas ain't shit. That's exactly what they did. And think about how many times men that came in and tried to love on a woman that didn't deserve that love. Know what I'm saying? Whenever you get with somebody that if they ain't got a good person in their life and you see that they down, maybe they need to be left the fuck alone, just like everybody else did. And the reason why is because listen, it is gonna be exhausting. And the one thing you gotta value yourself, bro. Like you looking at how much you can help them, not looking at the wear and tear you put on yourself. One of the reasons I was so fucked up, bro. Time out. I tried desperately in one relationship, and it had the grounds. I don't care to say who, but now I gave money, I gave time, I bought jewelry, nigga, cars, clothes, gave everything I could, prayed with her, cried with her, everything I could. That woman didn't respect me, and if she didn't respect me, none of what I had for her was ever gonna be good enough.
Right.
None of what I ever gave her was gonna be good enough. You can't change a person that is broken people are broken because they choose to be there until she decide a woman decides and say, hey, you know what? I want to heal. You notice when women really be serious about healing, they 9 times out of 10 go cut their hair, go to the gym, goddamn me. Now they on planes, catching flights. They doing a whole bunch of shit different. They get another job. You know why it's like that? Because they didn't went and did the work on themselves. They're no longer carrying around that baggage. What you were trying to do, what you will find yourself in situations where you end up having to unpack trauma from like motherfuckers that you ain't even caused. That's how you end up in verbally abusive relationships. Them toxic ass women, that's how they be like that. That's why you end up in verbally abusive relationships. They already toxic. They beating themselves up.
Let me ask you a question, Slim. Have you had anyone from your past relationships come back to you and thank you?
Yeah.
Okay. I rest my case.
That's just because they came back thank me, nigga. Do you know how much I lost? You know what You know what? That's what I'm saying. I lost time. I lost valuable time. I gave you some time that I was trying. I can't get back. You lost something.
And to y'all's point, some of those women that are so fierce and verbally abusive, it's because of their own past, their own experiences. Some of them have defense mechanisms up that need to be broken down, but you can't do that for them. Some of them are just in self-defense. I'm not going to be hurt no more. Before you get me, I'm going to get you. And so, but that's why I say therein lies the time that you need to take to explore someone, explore what they're going through, explore them before you attach your wagon to them and then be judged for that. We can't just go into these relationships willy-nilly. Y'all got to have some self-preservation there to know that if you ain't never in another relationship, it's okay. Before you get into some stuff that you don't want to really be in or that you don't deserve to be in. It's okay to take time.
I want to quote a toxic ass line because this shit just fits. It hits so hard, but it's just super toxic, but it's gonna make sense. Hold on, let me get this. Hey, it's a dude on here, that Life and Scars dude. And I'm being real with you. That Life and Scars dude say some crazy shit, but this is one piece of wisdom he dropped. He say, just because that bitch came back don't mean that she love you. She found out that didn't nobody love her bitch ass. And that's really how shit be sometimes. They don't always come back because they love you. They realize didn't nobody else love them.
Or on the other hand, you realize that a lot of people never. Like
that's how he said it, y'all. I didn't put nothing on it. It's the actual clip. Know what I'm saying?
A lot of people never loved you. They just love the way you love them. And for what bro was saying, like I totally understand what he's saying, but I had to get in my mind. It's one of the things I had to learn is that a lot of times, bro, like you don't never have to start being you. You hear me? But sometimes you gotta watch who you for. You think what I'm saying? So don't never lose yourself. You ain't never gotta switch up your game. Don't make nobody put you in a position. But once you see that, that's when you gotta start pivoting. Like you gotta realize that shit early.
Absolutely right.
So you don't take that off yourself.
That's the cutoff point. That's the cutoff point.
Yeah.
When you're not cooking for your genuineness.
But do you cut off or do you still try to fix?
What is it?
Do you cut off or do you continue to tolerate and think it's gonna go away or change?
No. What I was stating was I don't try to fix anything. I'm genuinely a loving, caring person. I'm genuinely that. So when you experience this consistently on a consistent basis with me, whether you changing or not has nothing to do with me. I'm just showing you better ways to communicate. We can talk. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to display your name, call you out your name, belittle you, make you feel less than. I don't have to do that when I'm sitting here trying to get through to you and help you understand that you are loved. I can show these through my actions. And if you don't pick up through the actions of it, then that's my key to step away, keep it moving. And then not me doing that, it's done came back to me down the line. I would just want to thank you. I appreciate your patience with me. I appreciate the way that you had your walk and you stayed on your walk, which helped me realize later down the line where I was mistaken at, where I was wrong and that fault in. So it don't always have to do with trying to put no force on nobody. I'm nowhere near taking up that type of energy to force somebody to be a certain type of.
I admire that.
Can nephew or T Money chime in?
Oh yeah.
What's up, nephew? Hey.
It's been good to me.
Hey T Money. Hey y'all.
What up, though?
I wanted to chime in on the aspect that my last relationship was extremely toxic, and Juan just said something that kind of is really clear and showed me what the toxicity was. It wasn't so much that he loved me.
Get the 200K real quick, y'all.
Can we get the 200K? If you don't know what's going on, every Wednesday we have Walking Like I Talking Wednesdays. Me and Miss Netra, we at my house. She like to sit up, but shit, I don't mind if we was over there. Know what I'm saying? But we walking like I Talking Wednesdays after dark. Well, we discuss different topics, various different topics. It's gonna be, as today we talking about the ins and outs of toxic relationships. We had some financially toxic relationships. We've had some emotionally toxic relationships, the intimate toxic relationships. You'll feel free to join. There's a banner going across the bottom of the Cash App of the 3 hosts that are here, myself, Miss Netra, and Poetic RN. Feel free to support whoever you want to. Just understand that nothing is obligated. Everything's appreciated. If you like it, you know what I'm saying, feel free to subscribe to the live. Follow the host and follow the people on the panel. Follow Miss Netra, follow Top Shelf, T-Money, everybody up here. If they saying something good, feel free to follow them. But yeah, it's Walking Like I Talking Wednesdays. She said, she wanted me to put, I think she wanted me to put the music in there real quick for the YouTube. So we're going to play a little song real quick. And yeah, we're going to let y'all go. We're going to bring it back in. God damn it, Bobby.
What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? We going after dark, it's that time to unwind. Let's have a conversation, let me stimulate your mind. Might just put you up on game so you don't get left behind. Feel free to ask your questions, but please don't waste my time. Past, present, and future, we putting it on the floor. And if your ass wanna be judgmental, we can show you the dough. We done all been through some shit. Hell, ain't nobody perfect, but this is why we look so graceful, walking in our purpose. Life is one big old journey. I done walked so many walks, seen and did so many things. This why I talk my talk. We could learn your ass something if you listen. So tune in and thank you for your attention. Walking like I talk it. I'm not perfect, but I'm flawless. Gotta be in you, not just on you. I'm obeying my calling. Walking like I talk it. I'm not perfect, but I'm flawless. Gotta be in you, not just on you. I'm obeying my calling.
We almost at 200K, y'all. We almost at 200K.
We going grown up after dark, it's that time to unwind. Let's have a conversation, let me stimulate your mind. Might just put you up on game so you don't get left behind. Feel free to ask your questions, but please don't waste my time. Past, present, and future, we putting it on the floor. And if your ass wanna be judgmental, we can show you the door. We done all been through some shit. Hell, ain't nobody perfect, but this is why we look so graceful, walking in our purpose. Life is one big old journey. I done walked so many walks, seen and did so many things. That's why I talk my talk. We could learn your ass something if you listen. So tune in and thank you for your attention. Walking like I talk it. I'm not perfect, but I'm flawless. Yeah. Gotta be in you, not just on you. I'm obeying my calling. Yeah. Walking like I talk it. I'm not perfect, but I'm flawless. Yeah. Gotta be in you, not just on you. I'm obeying my calling.
All right. Thank y'all. Damn, my ADHD a motherfucker.
Hey, real quick, Slim, I'm about to bow out, y'all. Slim, Netra, RN, I just want to thank y'all. I want to appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart. Like I said last week, this is therapeutic for me. I don't do therapy. I am one of them, RN, but the safe haven that you guys create, it is that. I appreciate y'all. This is therapeutic for me, which means in Netra's voice, this is good to me. I love y'all. I appreciate the space. I'ma always come through because I love this. Y'all. This is mature. I love the adult dialogue. Y'all know I love me some adult dialogue. If y'all know nothing
We
else
love
about
you, AJ. We love you.
Yes, y'all know nothing else about no AJ. I love adult dialogue when it can be held in an adult space and it's done properly.
We love you too.
Y'all have a blessed one. I'll see y'all a little bit later. I got to clean up. I've been cooking.
All right, bro. You have a good night, man.
Can I say something real quick, and then I'm gonna drop down. I want to say to Lady Activate or just anyone in here, when you think to put yourself down, or when you think to disrespect who you are as a person, or you think about the things that you are going through, or whatever it may be, I want you to think about this. There go I, but for the grace of God, there's someone out there always worse off and in a worse situation. Be thankful for who you are. And every day that you open up your eyes, be thankful for that. That's all I wanted to say. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you. Can you guys turn your cameras on because it's streaming on YouTube?
That girl Poison, do you realize you're in the box?
Thank y'all for the gifts.
And I'm sorry, Miss Tasha, you've been in there request. I forgot that it's hard to moderate from the computer, like open it up and down. But if you got a private page, I'm moderating from my phone too. But I'm sorry I left you in there so long. I thought you was up.
Nephew, it's your turn, nephew.
Okay. I just wanted to say that
You can come back up. I wasn't telling you to get down. I was telling you I'm sorry you waited so long. I don't know if you might not even realize you was up here. Go ahead, nephew.
And Juan, we can't see you.
I just actually just learned something too, like T Money said, because I was just dating a chick who I thought really, messed with a nigga, you know what I'm saying? But it was the hurt that she had previously been through and the comfort that I have that was making her attracted to me. It wasn't the actual, like, I mean, because I will always tell her, like, you surface with me. You have to surface with me. Like, I need you, like, if we supposed to be going somewhere with this, like, I need you to get deeper with me. I need you to know, tell me what's going on in your life and talk to me. And I could never figure out why she wouldn't go deep. And it's not like she had another man in the picture or anything like that. But it just clicked in my brain just a few minutes ago. Like, she was hurt from the man that she had just previously been with. Although he provided all that stuff for her and did all that stuff for her, he was abusive to her. You know what I'm saying? And so by me being the guy that I am, I just naturally just started loving on her. You know what I'm saying? And I think that attracted her to me. And I don't think that was good for myself, because it put me in a place where like she started to abuse me verbally. You know what I'm saying? Like, she started saying things to me to make me feel less than who I am because of somebody who made her feel less than who she was. And that's all I really wanted to say. It just clicked in my brain, like, dang, bro, that's deep. But women are just as dangerous as men when it comes to that abuse, whether it's verbally, psychologically, emotionally. You just gotta learn to when you gotta know when to retreat. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know when to retreat and restart. You know what I'm saying? Because it get dangerous, man, and it get long-winded. I'm telling you, man. But I got a question though. Like, when you in a relationship where you feel like your heart is attached and your mind isn't anymore, how do you detach from that person? Like, how do you tell your heart, like, no, don't love this person no more. Don't, this is not the right person for you. Does that come after repetition, or does it just, like, after too much? Like, when does a person say enough is enough? Like, does it take for, I don't know, man. That's where I'm at right now. Like, this girl, she got a hold on me. I'm not gonna lie. She got a hold on me. And it's not even like she did nothing extravagant for me. Bro. Like,
how long you been together?
Yeah, it's like, so we just we kind of broke up.
Tell the truth, shame the devil.
We've been together. It's been 5 months now, since September we got together. But I broke up with her. I told her like I wanted to kind of disconnect because when you come back in the back, I need you to give me my check stuff. All right. I kind of disconnected her and told her like we need to cut communication because I feel myself going to a space where I don't need to be. And she came back and was like, "But yeah, I need you, and you know, I need you to call me. I need to be on the phone with me at night, and you know, I'll be having nightmares, and a whole bunch of stuff, man, to make me feel like she need me for real." But in my heart, in my mind, I feel like she don't. But in my heart, I feel like, yeah, she need me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just confused, bro. Like real talk.
I would just be beating a dead horse if I were to give you any advice.
Yeah, you kind of already self-aware. If you had enough strength to be able to pull away, you was emotionally intelligent enough to know that you was going to a bad space, and you was
I would just be beating the
already self-aware. Was emotionally intelligent enough to know that you was going to a bad. I don't know what to tell you, brother.
This is man, cause like I hear you, but like I don't.
We can't see you.
You can definitely see me, baby.
I
I don't know
can't
if
see him. I got glasses.
I can see him. He in his truck, y'all. He a truck driver. It's night.
Oh,
Right,
okay. Go ahead.
So we like I tell everybody, I tell all the people that talk to me, you can lie to yourself all you want to, but you're not gonna get on my phone a lot of us. So let's just be real about a couple things. So is the sex good? Is that an issue?
No, I never had sex with her.
Okay, so you never had sex with her. Okay. So now let's go to what about your ego is pushing you to feel like you gotta be needed? As a man.
Just simply because she has nobody to kind of like
how do you know that? How do you know that?
We always on the phone.
Because she tell you. I'm asking like how do you know?
How do I know? Because she don't have nobody to talk to and stuff? Because me and her is always on the phone.
Right, but how do you know? Like, do you have any proof that she don't have nobody else to talk to?
The only proof would be is we're constantly on the phone. So and if she has somebody to talk to, she would call them and talk to about her situations.
So, like, anybody could tell you a bunch of shit. Anybody can give you like a crazy ass answer and some shit that sound good. But what you're gonna have to do is do you some investigating for your damn self. Because right now, you remember what I don't know if you heard what I was saying earlier. So this is like the kind of abuse I was telling you about. Like, because a lot of times a problem with us men is we think we need to be needed. Like that's an ego thing, right? So if she's found your ego button, then she gonna keep pushing it because she's gonna make you feel like, hey, you're the man that makes me feel good. If you ever had a conversation with somebody and told them, hey, this is the type of man I would love to be. Hey, this is what I would like to bring to somebody's life. This is how I would like to provide somebody some stability. If you tell the wrong people that, bro, they will twist that shit and keep using it kind of the same way women or people use like kids against each other. You dig what I'm saying? So this really gonna be like a you thing. Like nobody can tell you like what, when, why, or the hows, or when you can stop dealing with this person. What you're gonna have to do is start doing some detective work, asking yourself some real questions, asking her some real questions. You ever had a woman that say, "Oh my God, I love you, you're so different"? All you gotta do is ask her why, and 9 times out of 10, you hear me, that shit'll be over with, because she's not gonna be able to tell you shit. So start asking some real questions when y'all have a conversation, and then it'll start pushing you in the right direction, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. And that's all I had though.
Artis, you dropped. I'm so sorry, Artis. We meant to get to you. I apologize. Go ahead.
If you would like to get in, jump in now.
Okay, give me 2 minutes and then I'm gonna say what I need to say, if y'all don't mind.
Okay.
But we'll just come back to you. All right,
Go ahead, Ty.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey y'all.
All right, Ty.
I was listening and I was driving at the same time.
What's up,
so I was trying to wait. Hey one. I was trying to get still, but Miss, what's her name? The one that was up here before she left. That's why I was wanting to talk to, but I was driving and couldn't get to it. She's still in her?
Lady Activate?
Yes.
I think she down in the comments.
I just wanted to, because I was listening to her and I just felt so sorry for her because I know like a lot of times in Poetic Guardian touch on it all the time about, therapy and our mental health. But a lot of times when a woman gets to that point, that's like a desperation cry and point that she's at now. But I was just gonna tell you can't even be good for your mom or nobody else if you're not good for yourself. And a lot of times, depending on you, I know me, I try to save the world. My mama get on me about that all the time. I take on everybody else's, problems and try to help people and try to do this and try to do that. And it becomes mentally draining. And then you look up, and this year was like my first year, I guess I would say, actually knowing what depression looked like and felt like, from taking on so many other people's problems. I'm not gonna say she don't have a choice, but when it's your mom, you really don't, But that's something that's a problem she can't eliminate. And if she don't have nobody to share that responsibility with, then the relationship part, the things that you can't control, those are things you focus on. What you can't control, you give it to God and allow him to, do that. Cast your cares upon him and allow him to work that part out for you. But I know, and I was just even reading a comment when I was sitting here, and I know I could just tell she's at that point. She's at one of those points, and I just pray and hope that she found peace within herself and start loving herself, because of her ailment, her illness. She was saying, how she felt about herself and stuff like that. And everybody gave her great advice, but I just wanted to, tell her, like, she's still a beautiful woman. The things that we deem beautiful and look at as beautiful, whether it's our hair, our attire, our facial features, a color, skin color, whatever. Beauty is within. And if you're a beautiful person within, you're going to glow and it's going to show. And so that's all I want to tell her, because I was driving and I couldn't get up here to talk to her in time.
You said something about the heart and the mind not connecting, and what do you do? Which I know Ms. Topshelf have went over this with him, but I'm just going to tell you guys, sometime it's doing nothing, and eventually that other person leaves, that other person gets tired, that other person, your heart is there with that person, and they eventually will pick up that your mind is not there, and they're going to walk for you, so you don't have to do the walking for them. I'm not sure if he's still there listening or not, but I think he might be at work.
Okay, Artrice. One of the hardest parts of, like, being in those sunken places is you pretty much talk yourself into staying there. You would talk yourself into staying there. I literally had to, like, I caught myself one day and I had to say, why the fuck do you talk to yourself like that? And I seriously was like, every time I said something negative to myself, and this was recent, I was like, bro, you just talk bad to yourself. Your self-talk, your inner self-talk is part of the reason why you can't get your shit back together. And that's something you got to really be mindful of. It's stored right there, just telling yourself, hey, look, I am okay. I love me. I am good. I might be fucked up right now, but this don't define who I am overall. It's just a moment in time. And a lot of people, when you get into those places and you start talking to yourself like that, it is easier to go further and further down the rabbit hole, because now you try to motivate yourself, and then that self-talk voice, that negative self-talk voice, become the loudest. So you will say, today I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna take over the world. I'm a store. I'm gonna put one foot forward, and that negative self-talk, and you gonna say, good and goddamn well you ain't worthy of that shit. You're not finna do that shit. Stop lying to yourself. Nigga, we lazy. Like, you talk to yourself like this and then you expect yourself to do something different. No, start looking in the mirror and start loving on yourself. It's stored right there. It's stored right there. Like, don't let nobody play with you, even you. Even you. A lot of times you be playing with your motherfucking self. Pause. You be sleeping on you. You be your own problem. You gotta start making sure that you move differently. You listen to how you talk to yourself.
You know, too, Slim, you were talking about that. It takes 21 days to change a behavior. So if you're a person that does a lot of negative talking to yourself, put something positive on your bathroom mirror, something positive in your refrigerator. I have a note on my back door when I get ready to walk out the back door to get in my car. You know, behavior. So if you're a person on your bathroom mirror, something positive in your refrigerator, I have a note on my to change a behavior every day. Tell yourself something positive, something good, something to make you fall in love with yourself again. Because until you learn to love yourself, you will not be able to love anybody else. And he only, I think I got the goal, his gift goal. He just.
And thank you with the cash. But yeah,
I really appreciate it.
Go out, Juan.
And one more thing, man, and this for bro too. I know you're working, but I want you to listen to this. And stop giving people, though. I know we like to talk. Don't let nobody trick you with that reverse communication. Stop giving people the blueprint to your love and the cheat code to your heart. Like, shut the fuck up sometimes. Be quiet. As an adult, like, we grown. If you in your 30s, your late 30s, or you got into your 30s, even when we still like pretty immature in some relationships, sometimes we can't tell people how to continue to fuck us over a lot better. A lot of people would say, hey, well, if you would have just communicated that and I would have known you wouldn't have liked that. Some people will call that healthy, but it's not, because you're grown as hell. If you see a kid about to walk across the street, you might grab that kid's hand and make sure they know what they're doing. If a grown person know the light red, they let them walk, let them do their thing. Some people do exactly what they want to do because that's exactly what they feel like is okay. Some people will not understand that most of communication is nonverbal. A lot of people will let you talk yourself into fucking with them, but you really fucking yourself over. You playing with yourself, because now they get to stay a little bit longer. They get to stay a little bit easier, because guess what you said? You and I just really don't like somebody leave dishes in the sink, and they say, "Oh my God, thank you." Hey, that's all you had to say. When they put one bowl, if they met you, they came to your house and say, you know what, you pretty clean. You clean up behind yourself, man. You wash your clothes, you fold your clothes. So to respect you, they will follow your lead as a man. If anybody, not just a woman, but anybody in your circle, if they are not following your lead, if y'all not on the same wavelength or frequency, let that shit go. Do not tell them how to correct their actions in your motherfucking life. Let that shit roll.
I agree.
I had said this one time, and it still applies. I said that just because somebody gets beyond your guard or gets beyond your wall, don't mean that they your person. The motherfucker might be a good wall jumper, goddamn. And a lot of times you didn't help them over the wall, like what Warren was saying. You didn't gave them the recipe. You gave them all the secret sauce. A lot of time people ain't tricking you shit. You told them to trick you. You literally told them what they need to do to be able to get all the access and all the goods from you. And they did exactly that because you was telling them you wanted to be loved so bad. You wanted this to work so bad. You gave them the recipe to play with your heart. I swear it's gonna look like that person is the one, but yeah, you gave them the recipe.
It's almost 10 o'clock, Slim. I don't know if, go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize. Go ahead.
Oh no, you fine, poetic. A lot of times that's how we start out in relationships. We go in telling them everything we like, telling them everything about us, instead of some things you gotta let a person learn about you so that you can really see if there's them or if they just, doing everything you like. Or if they just, doing everything you like to manipulate themselves into our lives, or it can be the blueprint to actually, be the person that they want to be for you. But sometimes you don't find that out until later on down the line.
Right.
Because if I tell you everything I like and how to do this and that, you're gonna do it. If you're trying to get me and be with me, you're gonna do it. But if your intention on doing it is gonna be longer. But if you're just doing it to get with me, it may last 30 days, 2 months, 3 months, but eventually it's gonna stop because it's gonna play out because those wasn't your real intentions. Right.
Right.
Oh, you heard her. Yeah.
Hey, Nikki.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to be the elephant in the room, and I want you to piggyback on your Saturday live. So let me be the one to say that what if all my life I haven't received the love that I needed or the attention that I needed, and this abusive relationship, mentally, physically, or verbally is what I need to survive.
Hold on.
You understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying. I
rotate
grew
the
up.
boxes. I can drop.
I grew up in a violent household. It was physically, emotionally, sexually violent, and so I had a hard time. My first husband.
I'm sorry. I'm just telling you, ain't nobody.
I do understand what you're saying. I
rotate
grew
the
up.
boxes. I can drop.
I grew up in a violent household. It was physically, emotionally.
I'm sorry. I'm just telling you, ain't nobody there for us to rotate the boxes.
I think I chose him because of what I was used to. That's what I grew up with. That's what I knew. That's where my comfort level. I chose somebody I was comfortable with treating me abusively. It was physical abuse. I mean, just beat up a lot, but it was because of the issues that I didn't deal with as a child. I needed to go to therapy and unpack that. And I thought that was love because that's how I grew up in that environment. So until I had learned to love myself, it took a long time for me to walk away from that marriage. And I walked away with nothing, but I had to for myself. Nobody could tell me to leave. I had to leave on my own. But it was a very abusive relationship, but that's what I grew up with. Never heard my parents tell me they love me. To this very day, they don't say it. So I was used to that type of abuse. And so I accepted it from a mate. And I thought that was true love. But it took me going to therapy, learning to actually love myself. It's called image therapy. Okay, that's Coach Billups. Coach Billups, come up, Coach Billups. It took me going to therapy to actually get past that. Will you let Coach Billups up, Netra, to get past
I
that?
totally wasn't saying it for me. I'm just saying it for people who they carry this characteristic later in their lives with other relationships, but they have this intense being abused when they were younger. I'm not saying it's me. I'm just saying. I said the elephants. I just wanted to be out there. Okay.
And I hope my story helps somebody else. I mean, I'm not ashamed of my story. That was my life. That was what it was. That's how I grew up. I grew up unloved. I grew up abusive, and every type of abuse that you can think of from multiple family members. But I chose somebody in a relationship, which was my first husband, that was extremely abusive because that's all I knew. That's what was comfort for me. And it was just like, it was getting to the point where, okay, I got 2 children and they looking at this, and I don't want my children to grow up to see, their father be abusive and their mother tolerate this. So I had to actually go to therapy, learn to love myself, and walk away from the relationship. I'm not ashamed of it. It was what it was. It was, my past, and I had to learn to actually love myself. That's why now I can tell other people, learn to love yourself. But Coach Billups up here, he said it was called
image therapy. Is that what he said?
Hey family, hey Slim, Netra, Poetic, everybody.
What's up?
Y'all know I don't stay on panels too long, but it's called Imago therapy, and it's a form of therapy that takes you through your childhood. And I talked about it before on the app, and I don't think a lot of people really see the value in it. But it really takes you through the deficiencies in your childhood that you had with your parents. And it highlights the fact that we often choose mates based upon those deficiencies in our relationships with our parents in an attempt to correct in our mate what we could not correct in our parent. And so that's why sometimes we have the same, like people say, well, I had this person and I had this person, and it's like the same behaviors, but in different people, is because we're often chasing that thing that we're trying to correct in our parents, that we're trying to correct and changing our mate. I mean, the reality is we can't change anybody. We only can really work on ourselves, but a lot of people go in relationships with the idea that I can change the partner or the person that I'm with. So while I'm up here, and y'all give me a minute just to talk. One of the things that I did want to just mention a few things. And Nikki, there's a book called Getting the Love You Want that can be helpful. And so it's a book and there's a workbook that comes along with it. A husband and wife team developed it, and it takes you through the imago therapy process, but it helps you to identify those things so that you can build up within yourself the strength and the health that you need, as you're pursuing relationships, so you can get the love that you want, and you recognize that you don't have to settle for the deficiencies. Yes, imago therapy. But while I'm up here, I did want to say this. I was trying to read the room for a little while. I didn't want to just chime in without reading the room. I think we throw the word toxic and abuse. We kind of interchange those words, but they're two different terms, right? And what I was saying in the chat when I came in, we all have toxic traits. Every last one of us has toxic traits or like dysfunctional things about ourselves that intentionally we bring to relationships. And we're often not aware of our toxic traits because what I've heard tonight, and I'm not being judgmental, but what I've heard tonight is easier for us to point out the concerns in our partner or our ex-partner, but we often don't identify the concerns within ourselves. And so, Netra, I really appreciate what you shared earlier. Yeah, I really appreciate what you shared earlier about, you and Curtis early on in your relationship, because many people don't talk about what they brought to the relationship or the toxic aspects that they brought. I held a live maybe 2 months ago, and I actually went through like 10 areas of toxicity in relationships that we bring, like 10 unhealthy aspects of a relationship that we bring. And so it's really important, y'all, and I've said this before in the app, and I'm gonna try to land my plane real quick. In life, there's a lot of things that we go out and do that we have to take classes for, we need licenses for, to do a lot of things. But being a parent and being married or being in relationships, there's no real rule book to that. Like, we just do it. However, we often go into those things unhealthy. And I'm not trying to be shady when I say this, but I hear a lot of people push on therapy and they push on seeking out clinical help or clinical support. They push back on it, especially in our culture, right? But it's almost the equivalent of you going to a certain place and you're sneezing and you're itching and you have hives all the time and saying, oh, but I refuse to go see a doctor. Like, eventually, if you keep saying this thing repetitively over and over again, you need to actually talk to somebody about it, because there may be things that you're not aware of that somebody else can actually help you work through. And there doesn't always have to be something wrong, right? So I often say this, just like we go see our primary care physician, like we go see a dentist, like we go see the eye doctor, sit down with somebody for 2 or 3 weeks, maybe 4 sessions. Just talk about things, talk about life, talk about your year, talk about just whatever. But just start that process so that we're not waiting until something is absolutely wrong and then we're seeking out the help. Help is better, in my opinion. This is just my humble opinion. It's better just to be healthy. Oh man, I forgot to turn my camera on. But it's better for us to just be healthy rather than waiting until we're unhealthy and then trying to get healthy again, if that makes sense.
Good word, Bishop.
Go ahead, Miss.
Were you talking to me? So I was just saying, to be truthful, in the early stages of my relationship, it was toxic, but I was young and I was in an abusive relationship. And so I just know it was toxic. I'm not a dummy. My husband was never, ever, he told me, I don't hit women. My mama raised me not to hit women. But me, on the other hand, I never saw my dad hit my mom. I never saw my mom in an abusive relationship ever. I don't think she would have took one. But me, on the other hand, being young, I went through it. So I went through abuse. I went through physical, emotional. I used to get beat up by a man. So whenever Curtis was like my rescue, but I did not know how to appreciate him when I first got with him because I was traumatized. I had baggage, I had luggage, I had hurt. And so he was my scapegoat, he was my rescue. I just didn't know how to appreciate him. So whenever I dug deep within myself and saw that I was the toxic trait in a relationship, the more dominant, because I made him toxic. And it's truthful. You can make somebody else toxic. Like, you can destroy somebody, but we don't like to talk about that. We don't like to talk about how we can cause somebody else to cuss us out. Like they ain't never cussed us out, but here we go every day. That's all we give is that type of verbiage. That's all we disperse. And then next thing you know, bitch. And then you call me a bitch, but you don't call him a bitch for 2 years. So when you realize that you are the dominant problem in a relationship, you work on that and it works better for you. So I can probably say now 31 years later, but in the beginning, it wasn't like that. I had to work on myself. And so I tell people, stop lying to yourself. Stop acting like you ain't never been that woman that was abusive, whether you hit him, like talking bad to him, all that thing, those things participate in being a toxic trait. So I worked on myself. One day he said, do you know we've never had a healthy argument? And that shit tore me down to my core because I'm like, what is a healthy argument? An argument can't be healthy anyway, but you can have a healthy disagreement. But whenever I heard it, he was like, oh, we don't never have an argument where we ain't cussing each other out. So when you hear that and you wonder, it makes you fix on things. It makes you work on that. So people don't know that you can even have a healthy breakup. You don't have to break up with somebody and want to go unalive. You can have a healthy breakup. You can just simply say, hey, we don't agree with each other. I'm not in love with you no more, blah, blah, blah. But instead, people make the breakup toxic. Now you want to kill me. Now I want to kill you. Now I can't stand to see you with somebody else. But the whole time, you know, that relationship was only poisoning your system. Just like toxic friends. I'm ignoring toxicity now because it's brought too much attention to who I am as a person, even on this internet. So now I can ignore the toxic in the room. So it's just what you allow. And once you sharpen up and you realize that you have to work on it, I promise you it'll make you a better person. And that's my 2.2. Baby, I'm working on toxicity even now.
That's like one of
And
the worst
toxicity
situations.
is like a cancer. It spreads.
Yeah, one of the worst situations where you started off at, how you said that we could bring people out. I can't stand people that actually like they be the villain but want to be the victim at the exact same time. You antagonize, and badger, and you not getting a response. And then when you get the response, you want to act like that person didn't change. No, a person can only take so much. That's one of the things that, like, when I was accepting abuse, you know what I'm saying, and verbally abusive and all kinds of abusive relationships, I ain't never really wasn't on that. And then, you know, shit, over time, you just be like, man, you got me fucked up. And then, boom. Now, you done did some shit that you said you wouldn't normally do. People don't think about the conditions of the relationship at the exact same time. Is like we look at, we're here, we're supposed to be in love, we're supposed to be happy. Are you maintaining that shit? Are you seriously like paying attention to your partner's health, your own health, your mental, they emotional states? Or are you just sitting here only looking to take? And when you just take from them up, that's another way you'll get a person to act different, just constantly taking and never giving. These are things that change the dynamic in a relationship. You can come in with a woman that's sweet as fuck, but all you do is take. Next thing you know, you's a bitch ass nigga and she tired of you. You didn't put her through hell. All you did was take from her. It's the same with men. It just, man, you can't be the villain and the victim at the exact same time. You got to pay attention to your actions. If you see something in your partner that you don't like, why don't you ask yourself, do I do that to you? Like, do I do that to you? Are you doing this to me because I do it to you? Because a lot of times we don't like the mirror. We don't like the reflection. A lot of the shit that irritate us and get underneath our skin and shit that we do to people on a regular basis, we just don't acknowledge it in ourselves. We can see it in other people. Start asking yourself, hey man, hold on, why are you talking to me this way? Do I talk to you like that? You'll kind of find out. It's like, yeah. Or at least that's how you make me feel. You'll get one of them answers, and then y'all got somewhere that y'all can start working from that point forward.
Right. This is good to me. Y'all tap the screen. We're here a little longer. If you don't mind subscribing to the channel. Thank y'all to the moderators for keeping it live. Very professional. We are here after dark with Netra Slim, walking like I talk it. Only after dark every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. We ask that you continue to share out this live as we continue to give you Good conversation. Tonight's topic is toxicity. And when do you walk away from it? Your job, your friends, your lovers, all that good shit that we think is good, even food, eating too much, toxicity. A lot of people won't talk about glutting, but glutting, overeating, knowing you're full, stuffing yourself, those are toxic traits. And then we wonder why we got high cholesterol. You're treating your body. Like, so we got to just sum it up. Go ahead, Slim. I'm sorry.
Now, I'm finna say we ain't finna bring food into this. Know what I'm saying? The food
but
is
it's
good.
The truth, Slim. It's the truth anyhow.
We ain't bringing food to man.
Whoa,
Look.
child, they don't want to talk about too much meat.
Lord.
I just want to say, hey.
Go ahead, Slim. I'm sorry.
Now, I'm finna say we ain't finna bring food into this. Know what I'm saying? The food
but
is
it's
good.
The truth, Slim. It's the truth anyhow. They don't want to talk about too much meat.
Lord.
I just want to say hey to the panel. Hello.
Hi.
Giving that little information about your marriage, your little tidbits and stuff. Because a lot of these young people out here need to hear that. One thing about these young people is they get into a marriage, first of all, under the wrong conditions. And then when they get in there halfway not knowing each other, as soon as they have one little disagreement, everybody want to leave or everybody want to kick somebody out, you know. But saying that, you know, when that all goes with marriage too, especially when you get married young. I found out a long time ago that I was the toxic person in my marriage, and I had refused to acknowledge it. My husband used to, he's a DJ, he retired military, but he's a DJ. So when I got married to my husband, I had never been in a club before. I had never been out before. I had never had a drink before, nothing. So he introduced me to all of that. That was fun for me. But because I have an addictive personality, I had issues along the way. And I didn't learn this until later on in life. But I look back now, I used to get mad at this man. And he told me one time, he said, I'm going to stop buying you shit. He said, because every time we get in an argument, you tear it up. He said, you throwing it at me or you throwing it at the wall. He said, you just breaking up everything. And that was just my way of, I guess, trying to stand up for myself because I thought I was right. But I was 18 at the time, y'all, and I thought I knew everything. Some of it I did, but a lot of it I didn't. And I had a husband that hung in there with me because some of the stuff that I did, a man wouldn't even put up with a lot of stuff that I did back in my day. And right now, today, I always say, even though I did something, he did something too, but we still knew that we done wrong. We apologized. It was hard to get past it. I ain't gonna even lie to you, but it's worth my family. At that time, I had 3 boys. I was 30-some years in my marriage, and I was not gonna let that go. I grew up though, and I learned what I had to do. And that's right, just like some of the stuff, Miss Netra, you be saying about Curtis, I be like, girl, you know it. You be saying the same thing I be speaking, because all these folks that's on this internet, they talk about they guessing about you and your husband, they guessing about your relationship. Grew up though. Saying about Curtis, I be like, girl, you know it. You be saying the same thing I be speaking, because I be husband and guessing about your relationship, and it's like, oh my goodness, these people, but
testimonies, because I'm an overcomer.
I love it. I've been married for
25, 26 years ago, don't matter. I'm who I used to be. So if I can't tell a story in deliverance, I don't need to tell it. I can tell my story now and then not tear me apart. I remember the day when you start out telling your story, but before you get to the end of it, you done fell apart because you weren't an overcomer. I'm an overcomer. I'm not the same that I used to be at 20. 19, 20, 21. I thought as a child and I was still young, I was wet behind the ears. But now that I'm a grown-ass woman, everything about me is different. So yeah, it's not the same.
And I do want to say one more thing for us Black people, us Black and brown people. Have no shame about going and sit down in somebody's office that's qualified and let them listen to you and let them hear what you have to say. You have no shame about that. No shame. And I'm telling you, if you can find you a doctor where you could just come in, they welcome you, male, female, and your first session, you could just kind of like just get it out. Because 9 times out of 10, that's what they do, because they got to feel what's going on. I went to therapy. I'll tell you, I went to therapy. I needed to go to therapy. But it's not, don't be ashamed of it. Don't be ashamed of it.
Okay, so and I swear to God, right? But I know I'm about to be the most hated right now. But I'm about to tell y'all some shit that really bothers me. It fucks with me bad. That people treat, just like some people treat the church like a hotel, not a hospital. I feel like it don't matter what therapist you go to, if you not good, the cool thing of the bad thing, the dangerous thing about therapy is there are no lie detectors. The bad thing about therapy is you're not going 9 times unless you're married. You're not going 9 times out of 10 with the person or persons you have an issue with. So you could tell that person anything you want to. The bad thing about somebody who feeds off of that type of energy, like that narcissistic shit, they can go in there and be the best person on earth. And that therapist will feed that shit, not knowing that this person is not who they saying they are. Now, if you are genuinely, right? If you are genuinely looking for a place to kind of provide a safe housing or to look for a better understanding on what you're going through, that is one of the best places to be. I swear to God, I get that, right? But I think what we're not doing is making sure people know that you are responsible for your own attitude, actions, and healing. When you get to talking about abuse, right? And maybe this will make sense, and I'll be quiet because I know people don't like having this conversation. But I had a thing with my mom, right? She wasn't the best person to me. She gave me away when I was young. She let a man. I spent my first nights in jail because a man told her weren't gonna be 2 men in his house. I was like 11, first night in jail, right? All this shit. My mama did this, did all this good shit, right? I could have lived my life or hung my hat on that shit. Or I could have told my mama, hey, mama, this is what you did me, right? And that's good too, right? Hey, mom, this is what happened. Let's have an honest conversation. But I realized that still was only half the motherfucking journey. The real shit was when I sat down with my grown ass to say, hey, mom, I know you know what happened. I know you know what we've been through. You done forgot some shit. But let me get away from myself and ask you, hey, what was you going through at this time? Like what was your life like when you couldn't really take me? And some of the shit I heard, I wasn't ready to hear. Because in that instance, she was my mama, but I forgot she was a person. So when we're telling these people to go to therapy, I don't think we put in a fucking big caps lock, italic slash old English bold to say, hey, you need to be ready to go to therapy. Because if you just go in there and want your ego stroke, that's the best place to get it done.
I'm gonna say
Definitely
that's
want.
the therapist. Oh, go ahead, coach.
Sorry, I was going to say, and I think poetic, we probably going to the same place. That when you have a talented and a gifted therapist, sometimes and doing the work. So I'm gonna try to sum this up and say this: one therapy session doesn't definitely want.
The therapist. Oh, go ahead, coach.
Sorry, I was going to say, and I think poetic, we probably going to the same place. That when you have a talented and a gifted therapist, sometimes and doing the work. So I'm gonna try to sum this up and say this: one therapy session doesn't do it. We usually say you need to understand what's happening, and that's initially. It takes 5 more sessions after that for them to prove that their initial thoughts were correct. So it takes a while. Therapy is not an immediate fix or one-time fix. It is a process. Sometimes in that process, you have to move on to another person. It may not be the right therapist or that process of getting well, and person's goals may change or they may move around a little. Say this: you're absolutely right. It doesn't work for everybody. Insight and get a lot of things in that therapeutic process that can be helpful. And unfortunately, there's some that walk away and say, hey, that didn't work for me. And often say, sometimes it may not have been the right type of professional. It may not have been the right type of treatment or, that was involved. But I do absolutely, what you just mentioned is absolutely true. You're, again, a good, talented clinician will be able to work through some of that and kind of get to some things. Because I'm going to tell you, you said something earlier tonight that I did want to speak on. Sometimes we have a need to be needed, or we have this need to want to be needed. And that can be toxic in a relationship, because then that can lead us to, crossing boundaries, because we want to be that person's center of attention. We can start to sabotage the person when they're moving on to be independent or to accomplish new goals. We start doing things unintentionally to undermine that person, or we become more possessive as well. So there are all types of clinical professionals. It's not just one. So we say therapy, but there's therapy, there's counseling. There's, on the other side, non-clinical, there's coaching. There's a whole lot of other pieces to this, and it's about us finding out what works for us.
So
can I say something too? I
wanted to ask him a question real quick.
Okay.
Then do I call you? Because I don't like to disrespect anybody's position. Are you a pastor or a coach? What do I call you?
And he was like, preacher though.
No, whichever one. I'm just saying, like, I don't, I'm
either
I'm not
way,
being
man.
Facetious. Okay.
You can just whatever you choose. It's cool with me.
Well,
Coach, you really do look like a preacher though.
We'll say Pastor Billups then. So just to go with what you said, because everything you said was amazing. No rebuttal needed. I want to know, how important do you think, in your opinion, because this is mine, and I'm always open to learning or seeing shit from different vantage points, right? The reason why I have such a rebuttal to therapy is because none of the therapist books, unlike a lot of the doctorate books, or like the books for like clinical stuff, I don't think any of those books are restricted if you don't have a license, right?
Thank you.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can get access to the materials. You can get access to the books. You can study.
Right.
You can study the material. Yes.
So if it's available, if it's available to people, right? And this therapist is essentially somebody who is just a person, who's just taken an extra, I guess I don't know what phrase I'm looking for, who's taking like an actual just a dive-in approach to being good at this and this only, to make sure they're good for you, right? If they took that extra leap of faith and took that extra time to be just, I guess, extra dedicated to that point where not only do they help them, but they can help you and shed your bullshit that you laid on them, aren't there things where a person can personally say, hey, let me go start seeking out and searching for some things that help me? Like, I know I haven't fucked with any like books like that, but I know like The Richest Man of Babylon, How to Talk to Anybody, The Art of Not Giving a Fuck, just small little things, right, that I use for myself to begin on my own. So like, if somebody's saying, hey, you know what, I'm not cool with therapy, in your experience, do you have like a couple self-development, self-help that, hey, you should check this out?
So the way I approach this, I'm sorry, Slim, the way I approach this conversation, I encourage professional help, right? But there are some self-help things that you can do, but sometimes that self-help work may not be enough, but that's a start. Because what'll happen is, a lot of times if you start that process, the hope is that it will develop more hunger for you to want to learn more, right? And so I want to correct one thing that you said, is just a person. Like, no, clinicians, they study the discipline. They study the history of the discipline. They dig deep into it. They also challenge one another with research and intellectual writings. They have clinical hours where they have to do case studies. So it's not just reading from the book, but there's a lot of other research that goes into this. They prove the theories. So anybody can write a book. Any one of us up here can write a book about anything we want to write, and we can put anything in that book and we can say this is true. But the academy, it's the academics that goes into this. It's the proving what is said in that book is actually true based upon a broader range of information. And so clinicians actually commit themselves to studying that, to learning that, and then also striving with each other. They're clinicians on this app that talk off the app and perfecting their tools and sharpening their tools and their gifts and working together. And again, I'm mentioning those case studies. So they're not just a person. And then there's levels to this. And I said this before, they're all different types of therapies or the whole side. The mental health is just a broad subject overall, but there are different levels to this. So I wouldn't say they're just a person, but they have really committed themselves to understand this at deeper levels. And sometimes you can grab information from a book, but sometimes you need an actual person to come alongside you to help you in that thinking process and working towards those goals and to getting the help that you might need.
I actually went to therapy today. And for a person that's real self-aware, crazy part, all you gotta do is just go in there and be honest. I ain't gonna lie to you. I acknowledge some shit that I ain't even want to acknowledge just because I know she didn't give a fuck about how I feel. I didn't give a fuck what she was gonna think about me. Whereas sometimes talking to people closer to you, you tend to hold back. But what I will say is you tend when you talk to a person that actually studies behavior, bro, it ain't no finessing them people. Like when I was just using that, when I was doing that, are you the problem thing, bro? You know how many times people came up here and tried to lie? I'm talking about now. I caught him and I said, hey, look, if you don't want to be truthful, you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to answer these questions. We don't have to continue going. But the way that you ask questions is how you extract the information. And yeah, you gotta you got some people that are gifted with this and went to school and got extensive knowledge. So therapy ain't really all that bad, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was talking to that lady and I felt better after leaving her. My mind was in a different place, but I felt better because I was able to be honest with myself. And mainly, if you honest with yourself, like if you was looking for tools, I'll tell you one of them. If you ever wanted to unpack shit in your head, like you want to start unpacking shit, you don't need a book or nothing. The best way to start is just by going through. You can start like this. I got a little note file. I show it all the time, and I'm talking about I really write into it. It's a self-discovery file. I write in here damn near every day. And I ask myself questions and I be real with myself. And then sometimes, because you will be thinking some shit and you'll be thinking that shit absolutely right. And then you'll be like, sometimes you got to ask yourself, hey, why do I think like this? Or why do you believe this? Why you feel that type of way? And you will start to, when you start being more and more real with yourself and get to know yourself, you're going to unpack so much shit, bro. So much shit.
Right. Thank y'all for the gifts. Thank you for gifting a host. Tap the screen. Top Chef has been waiting to say something for a minute. Thank you.
I just wanted to address. I just want to address the fact about the counseling or therapists or whatever. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
We can now. Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. I just want to address the fact that, yes, self-help books are great, but some of the issues that we may have are beyond that. And while we're thinking it's a psychologist, you might need a psychiatrist versus a counselor. So a combination of, I think, are what the asset is. I can read all the self-help books, but then I'm just examining myself. And of course, I'm going to lie to myself and I'm going to deny my flaws in reading some of this. So I think that coupled with actual licensed technicians can be an asset to anyone. There's nothing wrong with soliciting someone's expertise that will benefit your life and your behavior, along with our self-help experiences.
Right, correct.
Can I chime in?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna make this real brief. I want to go ahead and get this out. Because to that point that Top Shelf just made, we all have blind spots. We all have aspects of ourselves that we don't see and hear. And others may be able to pick up on those things or ask the right questions to pull things out. Sometimes in the therapeutic process, and every therapist, every counselor needs somebody that they talk to as well. So whether it's a psychiatrist, counselor, psychologist, licensed clinical social worker, substance use professional, certified peer support specialist, there's a whole range of those psychotherapists, right? There's a whole range of professionals. each one of them also needs somebody that they also go to and process things as well, because we have blind spots. It's like you trying to scratch your own back. Like you need somebody there to scratch your back because you have spots that you can't reach and spots that you can't see. And the other thing I was going to say to Juan's point, and Netra, I'm turning this loose, right? If I have a problem with my heart, I don't want to go see somebody that just read a book. I want to see somebody that read a book. I want to see somebody that has practiced. I want to see somebody that has gone through the gauntlet. They have gone through the ringer. They have been tested and tried, because you're not going to cut my chest open and work on my heart and you just read a couple of books from Barnes and Nobles. I need somebody who has actually studied that thing and also then, I had a nurse that was only a nurse for 7 months. I went on and let them do their thing the other day, but I was a little kind of like watching them every step of the way. But my point is, I want somebody that actually has the practice and has done the work necessary and has the competency to be able to do that work, and not just someone who picked up a book and may have a few nice words or put on, nice white coat and say, okay, I'm here to take care of you. No, I need somebody that's really got the credentials to do work.
And that's all I was going to say. If you look at it, because I think one of the comments said earlier, basically no profession or any profession, you really have to examine it, whether it be counseling, a mechanic, your physician. Because at the end of the day, it's not the fact that I took my car to a shade tree mechanic. It's the fact on what type of mechanic work has the shade tree worker done. Study, because it's some people out here that can do the same thing that a person that read a book can do. So you really have to evaluate it. Know first, like get familiar with your counselor. If that first counselor don't work, don't be prejudiced to go find one that will. Women, if you want to see a woman counselor and you're more comfortable, do that. Males, the same with men. A lot of times we find comfort with the same sex. I know me with a doctor, I like a female doctor. I've tried male doctors, I've tried them, but I find more comfort speaking to a female doctor. At the end of the day, what works for you might not work for others, but I will say this, after losing my mom, I never imagined counseling being the source to help me. And we need to understand that counseling does not fix us. It's not the fixer. It's just a go-to. It's a source. It's an outlet. You still have to work on yourself. So that's my 2 points.
So Ms. Netra, do you have any points on somebody to? That's what I think my question was. My phrase was a little misunderstood, which is just to read the books. I was asking anybody if you know how to help somebody who does not know, right? How to find who they need to talk to. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
How do we know how we know okay, so I don't know how so I'm a truck driver, right? And if I say that, everybody be like, oh, that's cool. I know a truck driver, but I can almost guarantee you don't know one that do what I do, but you don't know that. So that's what it says about how do we figure out, you get what I'm saying? How do they figure out who didn't just read a book or who's cool with children's issues or who's better with adulting or marriage? Just going. That costs a lot of money. That costs a lot of money, though, huh?
But listen. I went to a counselor. I went to a counselor that didn't cost me anything. It was a spiritual guidance. So consistency. My sister came to that same counselor and stayed one time, and she left because she didn't have the patience to sit through and listen to other people, listen to the person that's teaching you. So what it takes is consistency. You can't get a fix in one session. And a lot of times we don't want to stay in it. We want a quick fix. We think that going one day fixes us. But no, you got to keep going back. You got to be comfortable with the person you're talking to. So consistency lets you know if that person is for you. Keep going. You'll know your mood, your body, your tone. Like at some point you should be able to agree and be down the road. If not a month in, I got to go. Damn near 2-3 weeks in, I don't feel nothing. I got to go. And I don't mind picking up my bed or my cross and walking. So it's just consistency. Consistency is the key to anything that's going to work. So you got to stay in it for the long haul.
As well as you can play
Awesome.
play the game, you know what I'm saying? Like when you go in there and you talk to that therapist, play the game. Like ask questions that make you feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna only reason I think I was able to talk is because I just didn't give a damn. But if I was really, really like, I'm already very self-aware. I said I'm gonna try this thing, so I went in there. She asked me some questions, you know what I'm saying, and then she pointed out some things. She said more so like I already kind of knew it, but I'm struggling with anxiety. I've been having a whole lot of anxiety. She pointed me in that direction. It was something I had to accept. Then we started talking about my drinking problem and shit. And as long as I was being honest, I was able to actually like hear the shit that I needed to hear. Like when they were saying blind spots. Those blind spots come because you be biased a little bit, even with yourself. You be biased. You don't really want to always look in the mirror, but if you go in there and you be honest and you ask the right questions, you gonna find that. Hold on, Todd. You gonna go in there, you gonna find that. Like, okay, I can fuck with this person. Know what I'm saying? I like the way I like your perspective. They want direction on knowing the right type of professional for his specific situation. That what you asking, Warren?
Can I say this? There's no money better spent than on your mental and psychological health. Just because we don't view it as a physical thing, may not be my heart, diabetes, or anything else. Your mental capacity is just as valuable as your physical capacity, because you can be healthy and be a Looney Tune and off your and just crashing out. So we have to, money spent on your mental capacity is money well spent. Right. And we cannot deny our psychological being, health. We got to stay on it, just as we do our annuals. We've got to stay on top of our mental, our psychological health.
Right.
It's extremely important.
Right. And that sounds amazing. Well, the advantage I'm coming, because I'm good. I'm super self. I'm too goddamn self-aware. But the person that I'm speaking for is the person that was me 10 years ago. So what my question is, how does like everybody up here seems super aware, everybody up here seems super knowledgeable, right? But how does somebody who don't know what their issue is, who don't know which way they need to go, who's like completely blind, shooting in the dark, and don't want to spend money that they don't have to figure out what they need? Like, how can they better pinpoint what they need?
Get with somebody that can give you some health information and get you to, and I'm not lying. A lot of people don't want to invest in this. I'm self-employed. I'm my own entrepreneur, and I have Obamacare. I don't give a shit what nobody say. I go to the doctor down there for free. You have to go and get a diagnosis. A lot of people don't want to get it's a chief complaint. There is a chief complaint to every situation. You have to go get the diagnosis to that chief complaint. And a lot of times we run from the scars of the diagnosis. Virgo, we got to break you. A lot of times we run from the scars of the diagnosis. We run from family history of schizophrenia and a bipolar and manic depressive disorder. So we get afraid of the possible. We get afraid of the scarring from our past. But one thing that heals you is not being afraid. You cannot be afraid, because going untreated is deadly. Because after a while, you're not only a menace to society, but you're a menace to yourself. Because going untreated, when you know, like, something about you identifies that there is something wrong. The thing is putting the red dot on the identifier. What is it? Is it bipolar? Is it anxiety? Is it sleep deprived? A lot of people think that not enough sleep, you could go into I'm anxious the next day. Your body is tired. So we just get afraid of the diagnosis, the unknown. But let me tell you something, what I'm learning, especially with people dying around me. I don't want to wait till it's too late. I want to know my diagnosis now. I don't want a small mass to take me out and I got an itch right here or hurt right here. You feel it, not. You feel it. Women, you in the shower, you feel it, not. But because it's this little, I'll wait till it get this big, that big, damn near you 4-stage cancer. So why wait until it's too late? Why not deal with it when it's manageable? And a lot of people wait when it's not manageable, and that's my 2.2.
Ms. Netra, right? But we go to the emergency for that. So what I'm saying is, do y'all have like actual? I seen somebody say something like 211 or like I'm saying like actual. I'm not talking like emotions right now. I'm talking about like like you said, you go to the emergency. If you don't know what specialist to go to, you can go to the emergency, and hopefully they can figure it out. So if somebody does not have any knowledge, they just know they want to do better. What can they do?
So can I say this? If you speaking in third person, or if you know somebody that's needing some help, if they don't know where to go and they might be a friend of yours, I can just tell you for right now, just to start with, Coach Billups, he could probably direct you to wherever you need to go.
Very good counselor.
And they got this app online that's called Better Help Therapy. It's in your app store.
Okay, thank you. That's what I'm saying. I'm not third person talking. It's clearly people here that they.
No. I'm just.
Yeah, he's not third party. He being very influential.
I was just saying, just like if you were just saying, right here, we all can recommend this man right here, Coach Billups.
Yeah, but some people don't want to talk to somebody right now. They just need to find.
Yeah, you got to realize.
He can probably.
You got to realize we're on the internet. It's harder to trust. Hear me out. It's harder to trust a person on the internet than it is for him to pick up the phone and get information for 411 or something. So we have to give him.
He can give you some information. It don't have to be him. He could probably give you some information for somebody, some other contact that don't have him. You know what I'm saying?
The reason why it's so important, and I don't know, Coach Billups, you can speak to this. Sometime like my mother, she passed on to us what her mother and her parents did to her. So it was like that trauma passed on. So at some point we have to stop that cycle. And sometimes you do have to go and seek out help and talk to someone to actually stop the cycle. Because like you said, how your mother was, and you asked your mother, well, what was going on with you? After therapy, I was able to go to my mom and say, what were you going through? But it wasn't about what she was going through. It was about me and fixing me so that I could be a better person for myself and for my children. But I did ask her later, what were you going through? She had 4 children at the age of 22. Her husband left her. I get it, but I had to first, I wouldn't have gotten that if I was still going through all the trauma. I had to first heal myself from the trauma, then listen to her as to why she was going through what she was going through at the time.
Right.
Yeah, there's studies that show that there are like genetic markers, like we pass on trauma genetically now, that they're kind of becoming more aware. Because like Top Shelf said, mental health, I mean, this is a field that's growing. We have made a lot of advances. I mean, just neurology and neuroscience overall. The medical professions, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, really only understand about 10 to 15% of the actual human brain. There's a whole lot of the human brain that neuroscientists still don't fully understand. They're still studying as it relates to the brain and, all of the mental health and brain health as well. But those resources, because Favorite Nephew said, no, everybody can't call coach. No, everybody can't call coach. So let me go ahead and put some resources out there. Slim was right. BetterHelp is a source. And I think BetterHelp is usually going to be, you maybe pay out of pocket. I'm not sure if they accept insurance or not, but even if you have to pay out of pocket for $194 or $196 a month, you can see a clinician every week through BetterHelp if you go through their financial assistance program that they have, and that's nationwide. 211 is a great source almost in every state. You can pick up the phone, dial 211, and you have all types of services that are available there: mental health services, veteran services, housing services, food. If you need support with getting food, that can be helpful as well. I also dropped in the chat, Juan, psychologytoday.com. That's my go-to. When people are looking for someone to speak to, I encourage them to jump on psychologytoday.com, plug in their city and state or zip code. It's going to pull up all the clinicians within a certain mile radius, and then you can start to narrow that resource down to the types of professionals that you're looking for. So whether that is a professional who accepts insurance, if it's a particular type of services you're looking for, if they're pediatric services you're looking for children, if it's couples therapy, if you're interested in group therapy, psychologytoday.com is that hub that's going to sort of narrow all of that down for you as well. And then another resource that I see others dropping in the chat is 988. That's the nationwide, almost like 911. That's the mental health crisis line. So you can pick up the phone, dial 988 and be connected with a crisis counselor 24/7. And then also they can direct you other places. But here's another resource that we often overlook. Go to see your primary care physician. Talk to your doctor, your physician, and say, hey, I'm experiencing some things. I'm having trouble sleeping or eating or whatever. Just express what's going on. I really like to see a mental health professional. Your primary care physician can make that referral for you as well. And sometimes ask you some initial questions to help you to connect with someone. So the same way we find a foot doctor, the same way we find a chiropractor and everything else, just start asking around. Oh, and one more thing, 988. You can call 988, but you can also text 988 as well. So a lot of people are not aware of that. So not only you can talk to someone on the phone, but you also can text a crisis counselor on 988, and they can provide some support and some guidance for you too, especially if you're experiencing a crisis.
Thank you, Javon. With that being said, y'all, we've reset the live goal. This was good grown-up conversation. I have a couple of more minutes before I have to get out of here. But y'all, please join us every Wednesday night. I like this conversation. I like this. I hope y'all enjoying this new look, but it's very beneficial for us. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't know how this conversation was gonna go today, but it's been going good. We started a little heavy. We got a little light. You know what I'm saying? Now we into a little therapeutic part. I like this. I like this.
I love the transition, how it started at a crisis, and we've cultivated ourselves to a cure. So I think that is the proper it just organically went that way. So I'm excited.
Virgo, would you like to chime in? You on mute. You on mute.
You on mute, Virgo. You on mute.
She trying to get off mute.
Thank you, Nene.
There you go.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I do like to say this. Oh my God.
Can't hear you, Virgo. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah, there you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
That was in my tissue roll. I will show you it. You see it? Okay, right. That was in my tissue roll because it was in my holder. But look, I do want to say that I appreciate how great y'all been to me. Y'all know I'm always start with that. But I also want to say with the conversation as far as relationships and different things like that, because that's what we started with, right? With relationships and stuff.
Toxic relationships, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toxic relationships,
okay,
yeah.
good.
That's what we do.
Yeah, that's where we were at. And I was just like, oh, at the same time I was dealing with the same shit. But I don't even want to bring that back up because it ain't even a matter. But I do want to say, Poetic RN, I do want to ask you a question. And if I ask you and it makes you feel weird, don't answer, but at the same time, a little strange. Because I'm 38, right? And I ain't stopped hemorrhaging for like 10 days straight. So I'm thinking at 38, when I tell other people in my family, I tell the people things that like, is something going on, they like, no, it ain't you, it's in your head, it's crazy, it's in your head. Should I go be at the
Absolutely. If it's 10 days straight, it can be premenopausal, it can be endometriosis, it can be a number of things that you're going through. So I would definitely go see a doctor as soon as possible because your hemoglobin can drop. So I definitely would go see a doctor as soon as possible.
Yeah, seek medical attention.
Yeah.
Endo, you said endo what?
I mean, I was just giving an example. I mean, I can't diagnose you, of course, but I'm just giving you an example. It could be so many things that could be wrong. So 10 days in a row, I would definitely go see a physician about that as soon as possible.
Last month, then it came 2 weeks early, but it ain't stopped. Like every day,
But let me stop you because I don't want to take away from their platform. This is not my platform. On Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. I do my health lives, or you can send me a direct message in my DMs. I don't want to take away from Slim's and Netra's platform of what they're doing and discuss health problems. I've been trying to stay focused on their platform, and I don't want to take their
So
space.
it's not health problems. Also, I want to say this. It's not about health problems. I understand that. Thank you so much, Poetic. I really appreciate you. Like,
You're
for real.
welcome.
So, you know, we don't see people like you in our offices, so it's a little different because you gotta like kind of wait till you can. But that's the problem. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, y'all, call me Miss Killjoy. I love you, Virgo, but I dropped you. Respectfully, this is After Dark. We do have a topic tonight. It is toxicity. If you would like to speak to Poetic RN, she just said it. Hold on, Rose. Muck up. You can hit her on the back end, or you can see her on Saturday mornings where she is in full effect RN mode. But as of tonight, we cannot diagnose you. If you have been going through some changes in your body for 10 days, please seek medical attention. Shall we continue on? Thank y'all. No disrespect, but this is After Dark.
And let me say this, Saturday, Coach Phillips, I would love for you to come to my live Saturday. It's on mental health. So please join the panel Saturday. It's from the clinician standpoint. If you guys were there last week, it was from the patient standpoint. This Saturday is from the clinician standpoint. So please, Coach dropped on me.
Coach Liv.
Oh, girl,
Coach
this is
dropped on me.
This is good to me.
All right, I can't believe he dropped.
And Mr. Juan, if you trust, because I'm not going to speak to you in third person, I think that's more aggravating than anything. But if you trust to reach out and you are seeking any type of information, FOE, we should have some resources to help you. If you cannot remember any of those numbers, you can reach out to me and I'll be glad to give those numbers to you because we believe in helping people. And even if you just need somebody to talk to, we do have a great team of people that don't mind sitting around and talking. I'm a talker.
And I didn't mean to put no pressure on Coach.
I am a talker.
I was doing that.
Well.
I was just saying that. So the resources that he gave you, that's what he did. That's the kind of resources I was talking about. You know, so that's what I was trying to get into.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. No, I wasn't speaking from a personal standpoint because
No.
I can always use. I can never have enough help in my life, but that's currently not my position. But I was saying, like, if somebody is looking, because it'd be a lot of people in these lives that they appreciate the conversation, but they'll never say nothing. And by us keep saying that, hey, you could talk to him, he can help. A lot of people are not gonna follow him. A lot of people are not gonna just get him his niches. Don't get in my DM, please, because I'm not even gonna see that shit. I don't even like it in there. But if we could type some stuff that they can go ahead and just, go check out for themselves and see what worked. Like we were saying it, but we wasn't typing it so they could see, you know what I'm saying, exactly what their options were.
You.
Yeah.
I got
Thank
you.
Thank you, Juan. Juan, we probably want you in FOE. We like you.
Juan, that's why I try to be transparent too, because I don't always want to come from it.
Definitely, I'm being nice right now. I'm just going to let you know. Go ahead.
I don't always want to come from it as from a provider standpoint or a clinician standpoint. So I try to be transparent with people as much as possible, so they know, I too deal with this. I too went through this. I too had this issue. So I try to be transparent with people, so I'm not just coming at people from a clinician standpoint. But a lot of people in our community, our Black community, there's so much trauma there, and there's so much distrust with the medical field. I want to make that possible and comfortable for them to actually go and speak to somebody, even if it's about physical health. I want them to be able to go and speak to someone because, our parents, I'm older than you. I'm 56, so I'm older than you. My parents didn't believe in, my parents didn't believe in physicians. My grandparents didn't believe in physicians. So I'm trying to change that stigma and to actually help people. And Miss Netra, I got to tell you some good news. I'm going to call Slim out. His triglycerides are normal. Remember they were 2,100?
Yes, Slim.
They are normal.
You better get it, Slim.
I've been managing their health. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've been taking it serious. I just missed a couple days, but overall, I guess I'm doing good because everything everything back to
I'm
normal.
so proud of him. I'm telling y'all, when Slim was in ICU, I'm gonna tell on him. I was trying to play him some music to calm him down, so he can have a procedure. He told me my playlist sucks.
Hey, I was lit, man. They gave me that damn Ativan, straight through the IV. Oh Lord, I was lit. I swear I ain't feel none of that. I was over there talking about some. Are they gonna start yet? When she was like, she's already finished. I'm like, damn. And Poetic started playing music. It wasn't that the playlist sucked. It just the songs didn't hit at the time. You know what I'm saying? They ain't hit like that.
Was I supposed to play some rap or some, I'm trying to play something to calm him down. What do you want me to play? Some Tupac or Kendrick Lamar? What do you want me to play? And then he was like, yeah, but your playlist sucks. And I'm like, I'm up all night with you.
Look, he didn't want 6 footer to call me because I was sure on standby.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think the mornings too, though. The morning times. That's why I haven't been on live the last couple of days because I've been going to doctor's appointments and today was a therapy. But the mornings with my baby girl too, I think that helped me. Looking at her, it make you want to get on top of this stuff. Like seriously, I ain't never been no person to like needles or them pills. And they got me. You know how it goes. It's like what 9, 10. It's like 8 or 9 pills I gotta take in the morning and take them shots. But looking at that little girl, it made me take my health serious because I don't want to miss.
We love that, Slim. Yes, we proud of Slim. Congratulations, Slim.
Thank you.
That's motivation for me because you did that in 30 days.
Yeah, they said
it's less than 30 days.
I was gonna say less than.
Artrice, you've been up here a couple of times and you didn't get to speak yet. I apologize.
You on mute, mama.
Okay. All right. Well, the conversation done kind of.
Hey, say what you need to say.
What I
Thank you, everybody.
Toxic relationship. Well, I was in one for 23 years. 23 years. I was in this relationship, right, with the father of my son, and the leaving part. When I got ready to leave, is when it got really scary, scary. He tried to he actually tried to take my life, right? So that's what I wanted to speak to, leaving. How do you leave safely? The steps to getting out when you getting ready to get out of it.
Don't tell him. Find a good support system. Trust one person, a good one person. Don't tell too many people what your plan is, and sit down and put your blueprint together. Be nice. Don't show no signs that you want to get out. And the first time you get leeway, go. Don't tell too many people where you're going.
And know that you're going to be lonely. You will have less money. It will be hard, but you can't go back. You have to stop that cycle.
I'll tell you this. That leave. I had to leave one time from this lady that wouldn't let me go. I jumped up one morning while she was at work. She came home to a naked house. I had took all my shit and dipped. I took the bed. I started to be petty and take half the couch because there was both of it. Half of it was her, half of it was mine. I took everything about that motherfucker early in the morning. Yeah. I ain't give her a chance. Every other time I tried to leave, we started fighting and shit. I ain't nope. It's time to go. I prayed. I said, Lord, I'm tired. Can you please wake me up as soon as this lady leave for work? And I swear, she shut that door. And 8:10, my eyes came open. I looked at that phone. I called somebody, say, bring the truck right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting out of my shit. I'm gone. And she came home and didn't know what was going on. She talking about, where's all our shit? I mean, you mean my shit? It's gone. I'm gone. Yeah. You got to leave.
You might have to relocate too. Don't tell anybody where you're going. Relocate. Shit,
yes, ma'am. That's what I'm in the process. I actually did, like, he ended up going to jail and all of that. So right now I'm in the process of relocating and finding me a spot where nobody know where I'm gonna be. So
if you need somebody to talk to, or Trace, hit me up.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I get nervous. I got anxiety real bad, so that's why I'm stuttering up here. But yeah, that was my question basically, because like leaving, because we hadn't been together 2 years, like, and then I guess when he realized that I was serious, it all went real bad, and he actually tried to take me out of here. But yes, ma'am, I'm in the process right now of relocating. I already found my spot. And I'm not telling nobody where I'm going, not even my mama. I'm not even telling her, because she on his side. She want me to go back. So
now relocate, change everything. Don't tell nobody.
Yes.
Nobody.
Yes, ma'am.
For real, don't tell nobody.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, that was my question. Yeah, because
I'm sorry that you're going through that, Mama.
It really is. Thank you, but I'm gonna be all right. Yeah, I got out of it 23 years. Oh, Lord, that was a long time. And no way I would ever go back. No. So, yeah, I'm just trying to get my counseling lined up. I got my place already. So, yeah.
Is he the father of your child, if you don't mind?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, he is. We got one son together. He's 25, though. He grown.
You don't have no reason to even have to deal with it.
No kids to hold on for.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Get out of
your number and go.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the best thing to do.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't want somebody to love you that. I don't want nobody to love me to death. Goddamn, I want that was something that was how somebody told me that. And that was what really made me, when I got out of my last little toxic relationship. That was the word that had made me really going to end it out. She was like, y'all literally gonna love each other to death. And I was like, nah, that don't even sound right. And I ended it. And that's what you have to do sometimes. You just gotta end it. Whichever way works for you. And I'm glad you found the strength to get out of it. Because a lot of people get stuck in it and they don't get to live to tell us a story about it. They're captured.
Right.
And like Miss Netra said, don't tell nobody. That's the thing. You gotta know.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna tell my mom, because oh Lord, she is the weirdest person in the world. How you putting money on books of somebody that just tried to take your daughter out? Like, yeah. But I appreciate the advice. Thank y'all.
And know you love too. You hear me? Know you love.
Thank you.
Right, Warren. Right.
You know, I don't know if this is every Black family, but they never divorce the person. You divorce the person and move on, that person's still a part of the family. They still at the cookouts, they still at the Sunday dinners, they still there. They never go away.
That is true. That is true. I don't know why she loved that boy so much, but I feel like she loved him more than she loved me sometimes. But I appreciate y'all advice, and yes, ma'am, I'm going to definitely do that. Like I said, I already got my place lined up, and I'm not telling nobody where I'm going. And I wish I could change my job, but I can't do that. But yeah,
don't say what you can't do. Don't say what you can't do.
Yeah, I could.
Because you might have to change the job too. Because that's what once he realized he ain't got no other place to find you, he gonna pull up to the job. Goddamn.
Don't come to the job. Yeah, you just got to change everything. Like, really get out, you got to change the whole way of living. Damn near got to change your name.
Me too. That's what I said, Casey Mo.
Yeah. And get out the state. Don't be in the same town. A lot of times we think that getting away is because we change residence. But if you're in that same area, you're still at risk. Change. Just completely change. And eventually, when you feel the strength or the courage to let your family know where you are, start with your son. Leave mom out of it.
Yeah. That's the only person that's gonna know where I'm at is my baby, because I know
he's sons love their mamas.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Daughters too, but y'all get the
picture.
Yes, really quick, because I'm not even supposed to be up here. I'm not supposed to be in the live. I've been banned out until tomorrow.
This is not my platform. This Slim's. You good?
Oh, cool. Let me put my 2.2 in here. Artrice, I commend you for leaving. 23 years is a very long time. You did that. Hats off to you, baby. I find that most women find themselves in a bad position when men do know what their finances is and where they win their bread at. So keep that disclosed too. In the process, everybody love resources, and that's good. But you got to use what you have too. These devices that we use to go find everything toxic, our favorite songs, our favorite toxic people, to stir up mess. You can use it for your mental, emotional, and physical health too. Use Siri, these AIs, these apps, Google to better yourself. Like me, if I'm feeling a symptom, honey, I'm gonna hit them search bars real quick to try to find out so I can tell the doctor exactly what's going on with me so we can figure this out, right? Use your resources. Also, what I work in homelessness prevention, so I have to handle all types of cases, DV, whatever the case may be. And the most cases that I close out the fastest be the ones that's in jail. And they be in jail for domestic situations, right? So it should never get to that point. Also, if you Google it, there's every type of counselor that you may need, whether it's substance abuse, alcoholism, mental health, emotional health, or if you just feel like you're alone. Put that in the Google, say I need somebody to talk to. Google will give you so many phone numbers that's free. People are paid to be up all night just to talk to you. I used to do it for a living, just sit there and chat it up with people. That's why I'm over chatty, because I got to do it a lot. And that's just my 2.2. I love y'all family. I commend you all. Y'all came in here tonight, showed up and showed out. We almost at 300K. Gifts been met. Y'all are phenomenal. Y'all some beautiful people, family. Keep it going. And I'm back downstairs with my cousins. Thank you, Slim and Netra, for even being thoughtful enough to put something like this together. Thank you. This is the most transparency I've seen on this app in how many years I've been around Slim since 2019. Slim probably don't remember me, but I remember him. But yeah, I've been around here a long time, and I really appreciate this kind of dialect and dialogue where people can come in and kick their feet up and be open, and we really listen and not judge, right? I love that. It's just a room full of beautiful people. I ain't seen nothing ugly in nobody that walked in this room tonight. Hey, give yourself a round of applause if you're here. Y'all did a great job tonight. Ooh, this is good to me. I'm downstairs. I'm gonna drop myself, Slim.
All right. Hey, Chrissy, we gonna let you get in there. We not gonna let nobody else up in the box. You want to say something else, Artrice?
Yes, sir. I just want to say thank you to you, Ms. Netra, Poetic RN, everybody on the panel. I want to say thank y'all for y'all advice. I appreciate y'all, and I'm gonna drop now because I'm still at work. But I do appreciate it.
We love you, Artrice.
I love you too, Ms. Netra.
You got people out here. Just stay around. If you ever in a bad situation, shit, reach out to somebody. Reach out to Poetic, Ms. Netra, or me. Sometimes I read my DMs. Sometimes you better off reaching out to them. Know what I'm saying?
I always read my DMs, and my email is in my bio, so you can reach out to me anytime.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Please drop me, Slim, because I don't know how to do it.
All right. Chrissy.
All right. Thank y'all.
Would you like to chime in real quick?
Real quick. I'm be real quick. Thank you, Slim, Miss Netra, and Poetic for having me up. I started going to see a therapist when I was like 9.5, 10 years old, all the way up, off and on through my adulthood. And the last therapist I seen, he was a white man, and I went because I had a nervous breakdown. I couldn't get out of bed for 2 days. I was just crying. My husband's like, "What is going on?" He took me to our doctor, who was a pastor as well. And he noticed, he's like, something else is going on. And I was suggested to him. And when I went to my first visit with him, I sat down, he asked me a bunch of questions. And the first thing after I finished answering, he said, "You are real effed up, but we're going to get you fixed." And just from him being that blunt with me, I stayed with him. And I got through a lot of stuff that I didn't realize I had just packed deep down. And after a while, he made my husband come to sessions. He's like, yeah, you need to hear some of the stuff to understand your wife and to help her get through it. And every session I had homework. I had things to do. I had to write down, journal. I had to do all that stuff that I didn't want to do it, but I did it. And it made me realize that a lot of the things that were happening is because I was letting it happen, with trauma from my family, the toxicity from my family. And I had to learn how to say no to them and cut them off. So anybody that's saying therapists don't work, you just have to find the right person. And I tell my friends now, because a lot of them, they be like, you go see a therapist? I'd be like, yes. I said, and he keeps it 100. And that's what I like. I don't want nobody that when I go see them, their head is in the notepad, just steady writing. They're not eye contact with me. They're not asking me questions. And that's what he did. And he told me his credentials. And I was like, okay. He's like, you can look me up. So it's nothing wrong to go see anybody. And that's the stigma too with Black culture and Black families. You don't go tell your business outside the home. Sometimes it needs to be told. It needs to be told because you're suffering in silence. And you trying to figure out why you feel the way you feel is because you can't get it out. So please, if you need the help, call, talk to somebody, write it down, whatever you need to do to fix you. Because at the end of the day, when you leave here, them people going to still be here doing the same stuff to somebody else. Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Thank you for that. Well, we look like we at that time. You want to keep it rolling? You want to let it keep rolling, Miss Netra? Are you good? You ready to go and get up out of here, go back to the mansion?
Yeah, I'm going to put my moo on.
Okay.
Miss Netra, really quick, let me say this too to everybody in this live. Can we close like this? I just want you all to know that there is support, a lot of support out there for DV victims. Rapid rehousing, and it doesn't actually have to be physical. It could be emotionally, mentally. It could be that somebody moved your sock wrong and you just don't like that. There is help out there, and there is programs that will rehouse you if you are in a domestic situation, and I mean financially provide the furniture and everything you need, especially if you have underage children or if you're elderly. Look up your local shelters, call your 211-998, hit those resource numbers, or hit me up in my DMs. I'm trying to get better at checking them, but hit me up and I'll even pull those resources in your local area for you, because there is help and you are not alone. Okay? You don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer in silence. Have a good night.
Thank you, Rose. Go ahead, Slim.
That's it. We gonna wrap it up. I would like to thank everybody that came in tonight. If y'all like the conversation, we gonna have more good conversations coming to y'all every Wednesday. Walking like I talk it with Miss Netra and Slim God after dark. Goddamn. So some nights it's not gonna always be as heavy. We gonna try to get to some fun topics too. That's gonna spark good conversations. But you know, it just is what it is. We came up with the decision to talk about toxic relationships. Thankfully, we gave some people some resources. Some people actually thinking about therapy. You know, you just got to do what your heart tell you to do at times. But yeah.
Right. I like it, Slim. Last week we did prison talk. This week is toxicity. And you never know what next week will be. But I promise you, like, I'm enjoying every 2 weeks in. And I enjoyed myself. It was great conversation. Very great conversation.
Definitely. So I mean, anybody on the panel want to get a final words before we get out of here?
I'll let them go. I'll let Cree and Juan go first.
Thank you guys for having me. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You're welcome.
Well, I want to say thank y'all for having me, even though I know I'm a proud member of the toxic community, but it's okay. Um,
I love it. I love it.
but on in other news, other notes, if you are trying to get into transportation, um, if you got your CDL, you don't know what to do with it, or if you already been uh, in any type of commercial driving and you find yourself at a dead end, man, you can always come over, holler at me and I can help you form your own path. I don't charge. People say I should, but I'm just not gonna do it. I don't have any classes. I don't have any buy my books or YouTube.
What state are you in?
I'm in Texas. So what you could
Texas
do
in
is
the house.
so you can always holler at me, especially if you're trying to get into the heavy haul side of truck driving, anything else you got questions with. I'm your guy to help you find your own on your own path. So I can help you form, your own shit based on you. So I got you covered, man. Just holler at me if you need me. You know what I mean?
Are you in Dallas?
Houston.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Houston, Texas, period.
So my final words before Ms. Netra, you guys, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. I come and I bring health information. My DMs are full. My email is full. I don't charge for information. I am putting together, though, a PDF book that I will be selling the PDF book, and that is because it is focused on diabetes. I have helped so many men and women on this app that did not know they were diabetic. Slim didn't know he was diabetic. Soko, another person that was 12.9. He's talked about it on my platform, so I'm not putting his business out there. He was 12.9. Now he's 5.6 A1C. 6 months, no medications or anything. So I help a lot of people on the back end with their health information. So you can send me an email, you can DM me, but every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., I am bringing topics to help our community, to actually help them be healthier. And that's my 2.2, Ms. Netra. And thank y'all for the cash apps and gifts. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank y'all for the
And
cash
so thank y'all for the cash apps, the gifts, the love for being here. And I just want to announce that y'all know I try to keep up with the news, but Andrew Lester has passed away. And if y'all don't remember Andrew Lester, he is the white man that shot the 16-year-old black boy through the door, Ralph. So Ralph did not subside from his gunshot wounds. He did take the stand, but Mr. Ralph pled guilty Friday. He pled guilty, but he has since pleading guilty, passed away. And so that trial for March the 7th to convict him is no longer. And that's it. That's all. I just wanted to bring a word because we tend to forget these young black men's names. So I do like to say their names. So Andrew Lester, the good Lord called him onto the house. He tried to take a black little boy out.
I'm trying to be positive about it, know what I'm saying? But yeah, I be wanting to say, well, that's good, goddamn. But
I don't want to say it, but
I don't want to say it, but sometimes you be thinking it. Yeah. Sometimes we be thinking it.
Justice has been served, but you never know. Thank God he pled guilty, so we know he knew his ass was guilty. With that being said, thank y'all for coming, and Slim, sorry.
It's all right. But yeah, thank you to everybody. We gonna go out to Miss Netra's song. I just want to say thank you to everybody that sent gifts. Thank y'all that sent cash apps. Oh, Miss Top Chef, you got to get your final words in there too.
Top Chef, sorry.
I'm sorry. I just enjoyed. That's all I want to say. And also remember, words from Slim. Compromise is the thief of your joy.
Comparison.
Right. Comparison is the thief of joy. And that is so powerful. Thank you for that.
You were.
Okay, I like that, Top Chef.
All right.
Compromise. Comparison, right.
I'll take it out, but thank you to everybody that subscribed. Thank you to everybody that tapped the screen. We had hit 300K. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's been a long time since I seen them numbers, know what I'm saying? Thank you to everybody that gifted. I appreciate everybody that was in the comments, that was typing. We appreciate all the support that came from each and every way, even from the person that just came in and had a question. Everybody that joined the panel, thank all of y'all, because the show is nothing without the people. We gonna go ahead and close out. We gonna close out the Miss Netra song though. We gonna close out the Miss Netra song.
This is good to me. I love it, Slim. Yes, this is refreshing.
Definitely.
Very refreshing.
This is good to me, clock it. You're on the docket. All I need is 2.2, and I'm through. If I give you 3, you won't understand me. You won't understand me. Big foe in the building. Welcome to this juke joint. Don't come in here with that foolishness. You better make a point. I will roar in this bitch if you don't come correct. I don't care what you think about me. Just give me my respect. Court is now in session. Before you learn your lesson. This is good to me. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This is good to me. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You can't fuck with big F to the O to the E.
Somebody asked earlier, was this on Spotify?
You can't fuck with big
We can put it. I'm gonna put our song on there. But you can put your song on Spotify.
Somebody gotta tell me.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. You can't fuck with big F to the O to the E. This is good to me. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You can't fuck with big F to the O to the E. This is good to me, clock it. You're on the docket. All I need is 2.2, and I'm through. If I give you 3, you won't understand me. You won't understand me. Faithful in the building. Welcome to this juke joint. Don't come in here with that foolishness. You better make a point. I will roar in this bitch if you don't come correct. I don't care what you think about me. Just give me my respect. Court is now in session. Before you learn your lesson. This is good to me. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This is good to me. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You can't fuck with big F to the O to the E. This is good to me. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.